I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over air. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over air. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right, greetings and good morning. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Manningsman, on this Super Friday. Yes, indeed, we are blessed indeed. We have a lot that we are going to cover today on this fantastic show. Lots of information to share with you. Lots of things that we'll be getting through and going through. So please get on ready. Get ready. Get up for the show. You understand me? As usual, we want to remind you about some important things that you need to do as you tune in to us today. Number one, make sure that once you come on, you hit that like button. Bam, bam, bam. Hit that like button. Help with the algorithms of the show and the channel. Make sure also you subscribe. If you have not subscribed yet to the show, make sure you do that. All right. Outside of subscribing, you also have to share the content. Share the content with others and let other people know. Watch this. Let other people know, bam, about I Am Sure Sports. All right, get that? Like I said, today is going to be a big show. Lots to cover. So make sure you do that. It is Super Friday as well. And on Super Friday, we ask all our subscribers and viewers to support I Am Sure Sports by giving a super sticker, a super chat. Yeah, right? Or you can do even super thanks. No, I mean, awesome. You can also become a member of I Am Sure Sports, right? We have a membership tab that is there now, so you can be a part of the I Am Sure Sports community. That way you can get, I mean, special rates on all I Am Sure Sports merchandise. You get priority in terms of your message and your calls. Just a whole lot of perks for those persons who are members of the channel. All right, and not only that, you understand me, you don't know, lots of ratings because they show that you respect the work that Manningsman is doing on I Am Sure Sports. You wonder where I get the name from, Manningsman. Don't worry. Everything will be all right. From the great 1738 down there in Westmoreland, Jamaica. You know, the institution of which we are loud and we are proud. The real blue, the true blue, the first blue in the island of Jamaica when it comes on to schools. In fact, we're not even called Manning's High School. We are Manning School. We are clearly distinguished from the others. Manning's stands alone. You understand me? Yeah. So big up to all of you. Big up Kevin Williams. Him say big up man. You don't know. Blessed love. All right. So like I said, we have lots to cover. And I'm going to give you some news and some updates. We're going to talk about some, like I said, some very important things. So stick and stay with us. We're just doing. Listen, here's what I'm doing, right? And I want you to do the same. I'm getting my phone and I'm looking at some person and say, you know what? Maybe they're not aware what is going on. Bam. And I'm here sending them the I Am Sure sports feed. And I'm saying, hey, get on and listen to this awesome show being done by Sir Manningsman. All right. So where do we begin? All right. First and foremost, let me get to this athlete thing. So out in India, I think in Delhi, they had there some junior track and field meet, right? And there was 100 meters final. It's a youth, right? And the athletes were told that the doping agency were going to come in and the doping test. 7 of the athletes immediately withdraw from the race. 7 of the 8 athletes in the final of the 100 meters withdrew, and so only 1 person ran the race and won. All right. There was also an athlete doing the steeplechase, and the athlete was told that as soon as they are finished, the doping officers will be at the finish line to take them to the doping room so that they could do the doping test. So the athlete crossed the finish line but never stopped running. They said the athlete ran right out of the stadium, jump on a taxi, and go straight to them yard. People, but what do you think? Do you think they were hiding something? They were just scared, or it is for religious reasons they circumvent the doping situation? And what should the World Anti-Doping Agency do about such happenings? Right? 7 athletes withdrew from the 100 meters, right? And then the steeplechase athlete, having finished the race, won the race, never stopped running, run right out of the stadium, right into a car, and they said that the athlete went right at them yard. What would you do if you were in charge of water to these athletes? Is there reasonable grounds for suspension or suspicion that they may have been doing some stuff untoward and need to be checked at some other point or be suspended? What say it you, right? I don't know. People, talk to me about that. All right. So that's the first thing I want to talk to you about and share with you. All right. Also, there's a memorial football game by the Manning School today. In fact, Manning's has the Costa Cup game at Landila, as you know, the Manning's football field, which is on the school compound, just right almost in the center of the compound. They are resurfacing it. The past students are resurfacing the football field, right, and expanding it so they will have like A and a B field. I think that's a good project that they're doing down there. I mean, because there has been some success with the footballing program, but I don't want Mannings to forget that Mannings has done well in netball as well. Mannings has done well in volleyball. In fact, they have won things in those things, right? Not only that, but they have also done well in track and field over the years. So I hope that the expansion and the upgrade to the footballing surface does not take away from the work, watch this, that has been done through the track and field and the netball and all of that. But all ventures will be well supported. All right, so that's happening. But there's a former Manning athlete that passed away. He passed away not too long ago. His name is, they call him Anglin, right? So let me tell you about former player on the Manning School, the Costa Cup team with Aldi and Bailey and all of those people. Rowan Oliver Delano Anglin, all right? And so there's a memorial game for him, which will be taking place at the Landila Cultural Center, right, where Manning School Masters will be going up against the Westmoreland Fire Brigade. That's today, Friday, September the 29th, 2023, and that will take place, 5:30 p.m. That is right after the DaCosta Cup game between Mannings and Black River High School. All right, so that is what is going to be happening, all right, down there at Manning. So if you're down there, please make sure that you go and support this venture. All right. On top of that, I have some Reno information to share with you. Some of you people, like Peso, have been checking out. So there are Reno magazines. You want to know about Reno, the history of the Reno Football Club. There are magazines available locally. You can get them from Damien Garden. And if you're in the tri-state, that meaning Philadelphia, tri-state and Philadelphia, Boston, in that area, you can contact Silla. And Silla is Cecil Pringle. I have a number for him. Or you can call Carl Bugged Mighty, right? And they will help you. The cost of the magazine is US $40. If you're in Canada, you can call O'Neill Bird Gooden to get one of these Reno magazines and know about the history of the Reno Football Club, right? And if you are in the Florida area or the Georgia area, they are looking for someone who would be able to do the distribution for Reno Football Club over in that area. So make sure you link up Damien Garden, and if you want, right, you can check that out. You know that, hey, the people, them are ball for me, people. Them are ball for me touch down on the west. Hey, you want me to show them about, hey, me have some bad cleats for real, brother. When me touch you feel trouble. You understand me? So we are trying to see if we can make it. You understand me? We don't know yet, You understand me? Inter Miami, big up Gunners boss. Long time I don't see Gunners boss. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm reading it how they have it, But that's why I kind of stopped Rob Smith. That's why I stopped, because when I was reading it, I realized that they said it and then they had Philly and Boston in there. So that's why I kind of just stopped. Easy no man. Easy no Rob man. Chow man. Yeah man. So big up Gunners boss says Inter Miami is raising prices. Right? We knew that would happen. How much they raise them is the bigger deal. All right. If you're in Jamaica, they're saying call Peso. Yo, Peso. Make sure you go and match Peso. Hey, Peso, you need to get a good phone. Peso can have a video on him phone. Peso, what kind of phone you have? A banger? Every day you see you work. Like, and I know chicken you jerk. And you can't get a proper phone in a Peso. Where you going with? So, yeah, man. Hey, Gunners boss. Yeah, man, Cataract has been asking for you. Cataract says in New York, in comfy. What it sound him? Earth vibration. He say him comfy, dominate and destroy. Earth vibration. People, anyhow you see Ardian, me notice Ardian is a man when time Ardian. When Ardian, hey, Ardian, we're not going to tell the people them where you stay. Where is Ardian? Where say my the girls them champion from down the lane? Not a girl no champion from down no lane. You understand me? Yes, yeah, but people, hold on, people, yeah, we're gonna line up and set up something. So give us 1 minute. Yeah. All right, I'm back. Yeah, man. So, Cataract is staying in your basement, Gunners boss. Person come from the west and uses a banger. Man, go and catch another snake to eat. Man, person come telling you to go away. I feel man favorite. Go away if you go away, person. Go away if you go away, person. That me I tell you. Go away if you go away, person. Go away if you go away. Big up man like mother still. The girls them care will. You understand me? Them big deal. You understand me? Bless up yourself. You understand? All right. So yeah. Yeah, man. You know, Pioneer a pass through. So Pioneer say, heal up Gunners boss and all the people, them, you know. You understand me? You don't know. We're there here. But people, listen. We want to talk about this Issa rule. Brian, you know if you link me already. We talk about this Issa rule, right? We need to talk about this Issa rule. So let's talk about that. All right. No, you know what? Hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Let's talk about the Peter Gould Cup that is giving $1 million Jamaican dollars to the champion. Big up Peter Gould and the Mount Pleasant family. It's a preseason competition that is happening at Draxall. The last set of games were last night, where Mount Pleasant emphatically defeated Waterhouse by 4-1. You understand? Fitzroy Cummins, Guthrie scoring, Kimoni Bailey scoring, and an own goal. Adrian Fletcher, a former Mount Pleasant player, was a player who scored for Waterhouse in that competition. All right? Yeah. So that was the score yesterday in that game. And the other game, Limeall, the newly promoted Limeall, they defeated Humble Lion of Clarendon by 1-0. Humble Lion, they have not looked good in preseason, but you don't know that is no indication of what will happen during the season. So what we'll have is that the third and fourth place game will be between Waterhouse and Humble Lion, and the final we will see the 2 Senton team, and this, I trust me, this will be a bumper crowd. You understand me? Yeah. Yeah, so the finals will be Mount Pleasant versus Limeall. I think that will be a nice game. Should be a good crowd at Draxall because there are 2 sentence team, right? 2 sentence teams. So come out and support them. Support this preseason game. And again, big up Mr. Peter Gould, you know. The amount of things that Peter Gould has done for football in this short time, less than 10 years, and the amount of things that he has done to change just the landscape of football, this man should be commended. You understand me, for all of that? And like I tell people, big up the fact that he's in Senton, but I believe that at the end of the day, he's a football lover, and it goes beyond, a parish. It goes to him having a heart for football. And we need more persons like Peter Gould and his wife, because we must not forget the important role his wife and family has played in this. And I know that over the years, they have had more than, I can tell you this, he has had more than enough reasons to stop people. The amount of money that has been, unaccounted for at Mount Pleasant probably could run a club like Mount Pleasant in the next parish. I am telling you, the amount of money that have been squandered and all different kind of things by poor decisions and other little unscrupulous things and unscrupulous people, it could have run a next club. And so the point I'm trying to make that is, as Jamaicans, we have a way of destroying some good things, Some of us knowingly, some of us unknowingly. We have a way of destroying progress and destroying some good things. So we must be very, 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 very mindful that we don't do things to destroy good progress and good success. So big up to Mr. Peter Gould, the Mount Pleasant family, for this worthy cause. $1 million. And that's a big deal. Wicked man, bro. Long time you know see all man like wicked man, bro. You know, big up yourself, you know. You understand me? Big up yourself. All right. Where is Leader? Leader and I were having a recently. Leader and I were having a conversation, and we were discussing some of these, you know, the Issa rule, and always. You say, man, so me can't. Me's a better scout than. Who them got? Like Corey Hilton. Corey Hilton score for Limal, you know. Tell me some of the big signings in the brand, man. Text me, no, man. Give me the inside scoop now. But Leader and I were talking, and we were talking about the transfer rule. And if you know Leader, you know, when Leader is speaking to me, I have this cautious. I have this very cautious because I know that because of his involvement in the football, and with some of the players, sometimes he's speaking on behalf of what is best for his particular players, right? And while I appreciate that, but sometimes he has some very solid points. And this transfer thing, I think, is a detriment to many good young footballers. From my calculations, right, there are at least, listen to me, at least 32 quality players who could make significant impact on teams that because of transfer policy and rules and stuff will not be allowed to play. Right across Schoolboy League, the Costa Cup and Manning Cup. All right? So, all right? I'm going to give you an example of a situation that affects players who would want to play Manning Cup and players who want to play the Costa Cup. So, a lot of players were at Mount Pleasant. I don't know, and I know that Mr. Gould wasn't involved in this, but the operators of the Mount Pleasant, what you call it, the school, the operators, the persons who were in charge, took some of the players, took the Mount Pleasant players and registered many of them at York Castle. All right? So these players thought they were Mount Pleasant students, but they were playing for York Castle. But they were actually transferred to York Castle from Mount Pleasant, according to the Issa rule. So now, some of them were at even schools before, you know, they got to Mount Pleasant. So they were at, say, a high school before, they left that high school, they got into Mount Pleasant Academy because they were promised that Mount Pleasant Academy would enter schoolboy football. For whatever reason, Issa did not permit that. So a decision was made to take some of these players now and play them at York Castle because of a partnership. So now when they went to York Castle, you know that they left, for those who left from a previous high school, that's one, Mount Pleasant and York Castle. Now that partnership broke down, so these players either the administrative arm has changed at Mount Pleasant. So these players now are no longer at York Castle. Some are back at Mount Pleasant, but some have moved on to other schools, and they cannot play schoolboy football for the rest of their schoolboy lives. You understand the scenario? No, while people, so I know at least 2 players whose parents didn't sign anything for them to leave Mount Pleasant and be at the next school. Let me say it again. So for some of the players, at least two of the players, their parents were not involved in this. Now, where I blame the parents is that a lot of these parents move their kids to Mount Pleasant because of money. And maybe this is a cost they have to pay. My concern again is the effect that this will have on the development of these players, especially the ones who cannot make a Premier League starting 11 or match day squad on a weekly basis. There are some other situations that I'm going to bring up. Right? So what is happening is this. I think Jason asked a good question about sitting out a year. So what happened is that there are some students, if you have moved once and you're 16 or over, you have to sit out a year. But if you have moved from two schools, you cannot play for a next school. And so what happened, unless you're under the age of 16. So the rule is very, very complicated, you know, in its reading and its application. And I understand what Issa is doing. What Issa is doing is try to curb the big school culture that takes the big athletes from the small school to fund their to enhance their program while the small schools suffer. But in doing this, the big school, because seriously, you know, none of the rules so far have stopped JC from dominating, have stopped KC from dominating, have stopped Calabar from dominating, Champs and those things, and Manning Cup. It hasn't stopped Clarendon College. It hasn't stopped, like, the teams that generally win are still winning. So my question is, has the rule really stopped the dominance of the Manning Cup and the Da Costa Cup champions? So let me, I want to put up the rule. So those of you can, what they call, hey, people, hit the like button. People, hit the like button. Good program. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Super Friday as well. You understand me? So I'm going to put up the rule for you, and then we're going to go through the rule as it is stated by Issa. All right? We're going to go through the rule as it is stated by Issa. You understand me? Big up Pioneer who just passed through the studio on his way to do boots distribution for I Am Sure Sports, going down there into St. Bess to leave some boots and some a football at a school, you know, with I Am Sure Sports. And like I said, we partner, it's not just I Am Sure Sports, but Vallejo Academy is a part of the sponsorship. That is Emilio Williams and Carlton Simmons, that's Bottlehead. You understand me? The Freddie Butler Foundation is a part of that as well. I Am Sure Sports. Then they also have an organization, my friends in Jacksonville, Florida, a Tiny Hope and Beach, you know, and Church of 1122. Then we also have Mitchell's Medical. That's the parents of Maya Mitchell. We work with them. She's also part of the Reggae Girls Foundation as well. And so we partner to do this. And, you know, people, sorry that I have to digress on what I was originally saying. I'm trying to bring up the rules so you can see it. Watch this. You remember we're talking about having the schoolgirl competition. So in January, we're going to have a 10-team in St. Anne schoolgirl competition. That's 120 girls who want to get playing from the age of 10 to 12. I mean, 12 and under, right? One team per primary school. That's what we want to do. You understand me? And to get female football going, we are going to provide them with each team will get 12 kits, and we want to give each team like 6 football for the program. You understand? We're going to get them bibs and all of those things. We're doing it proper. You understand me? So the wheels are already in motion. You understand me? And them things that we want, we feel good when we know that we work together to change things in our country and in the lives of others. So let me read the rules where concerned multiple transfer. Transferred students will not be allowed to participate if transferred amongst member schools more than once. All right? What does this mean? It means that effective January 1, 2020, no student/athlete will be allowed to compete for a third school in any Issa competition. So you can sit out a year and do it. You just will not be able to. Therefore, having represented 2 previous schools in any Issa competition, all students will be barred from competing for another school. Are there any exceptions where students will be allowed to represent a third Issa member school after January 1st, 2020? That's question 2. Here is the answer. Yes. In cases where the student represented other member schools before January 1, 2019, the number of schools represented prior to this date will be disregarded. You understand? So now, when the kids move to Mount Pleasant, as an example, from one school, all right? That was not, but when they went to York Castle now, that's one transfer, And then when they want to move from York Castle now, because the York Castle Mount Pleasant partnership ended, for them now to go to a next school, it is a problem. So, and again, people, what is management proposing? Here is my position, people, and this is why I say it again. I strongly believe that the persons who suffer the most in this are the kids. Like, here are some 16-year-olds who are born like in October, November, which means that they have a lot of time who are not being allowed to play 3 years of football in school, but they will still be probably in school, right? But we have a caller online. It is none other than the man from out of Philadelphia, where there's a lot of looting going on and a lot of stores are being knocked off and knocked over as people are scrambling for stuff. Give us a report from over there in Philadelphia. None other than Earth Vibration himself, Gunner's boss. What's going on, man?
Big up yourself, man. Tessa, Rob, Duckland. Big up yourself. No, him not in my basement. Him not contact me. He must find management must give him one basement and one old car to sleep in our road.
Hey, yo, man, man, actually go around my friend Cataract, That's why time Cataract a bonfire for me, Me I go leave him, Cataract, me give a show for bonfire, Cataract. Call it the bonfire show.
You know, forgive me. I tell you, say, forgive me a show, You forgive me a show, me can sit down and be me. Yeah. And deal with the people, how them to get dealt with, other than the fancy thing. Because we like the rough house thing, and that I sell on the podcast now. But here I know you're not hear me from the other day too much. It's because you see your thing is a video forum, and most of the time, we tell you, if you start put the thing on Spotify, Apple, and iTunes, and that's so I make the thing reach the world. I just Rob sing it and press one and few little friends. I wanted to reach further in our world. And YouTube alone now do it. So the time you have to put it in the audio forum and put it out there. Please and thanks. Me ask you for that time. I still await to see the merch in the merch store because I see the billionaire them and the millionaire them. And we are the millionaire them, we are the podcast and sell merch. I see all man who used to own team of the podcast now and sell merch. And them have bully per month. We don't have no money. We want to see merch in our closet. Demand that. I not ask for that like me ask for that thing. So here we want to do. On the day every day on our watch, on our like, on our share, on our subscribe. On if you start donate to something so we can get some merch over here. So we can buy something. Whichever way you know how to do it, I don't know. The people them in I comment me I talk to. Because all 500 down over here watch and only 200 and a 200 like this show. So when nobody watch for content is not look at this, man is my love me talk, I mean I like it, and you know. When you come over here, when you see the notification before you even start watching, you like the video. And if you don't have a friend, you share it with them and call them and tell them, say, the show on now. Because right now, my friend them from all Ukraine, Russia, Germany, and everywhere. In here, I listen. When them come on my job, me make sure me give them, me take all them phone and subscribe to them. Yeah. So we do it. And that's what I want to do. Go on this thing reach far. The thing we know man's man get a fat check out right, moving right along. Here this man's man. You see the thing when we hear you talk about look while with Issa, we need to start treat Issa like how the collectives them and the other and the college them and universities them treat the NCAA. We need to abolish Issa because there is too much. The principals, all of them, one to the other, will come up and form this organization. When them ready, them the bigger schools, them were at the head of it, them will penalize the little school them and now give them what them to get and all these other politics. People now abolish Issa, run them way. Them, what's their contribution to the sport? They're contributing to it, man, are they benefiting from it?
I think how you're going to abolish Issa when Issa is the principals of the school. How you going to abolish them?
So that's why we don't need the principal of the principals of the school to form any organization to govern football. We need independent bodies to do this.
It's not just football alone they are governing. Track and field and cricket and netball and volleyball. I'm talking about sports in general. Yeah.
We don't need the principals per se to form any organization to govern our sport. Football, track and field and everything. We need independent bodies to do this. And the principal then form what we want to do again. Each conference, the Dakasta Cup is a conference, Manning Cup is a conference. I don't know how the Issa and the thing up. When you put in conference and get independent commissioner, like how the NCAA, each conference have them. You have the Southeast Conference. You have that conference. Each conference have them commissioner. Mr. Hunter, you are check on them man. They are the commissioner. And them man they go to make the ruling. They go to school, but them have no affiliation with this one school or that one school where there can be favoritism, and that is what will happen.
So you think there needs to be a totally independent body that governs school football and not the principals?
Yes. Principal go teach classroom and go take care of the classroom and the students and the teachers them and do your job and leave the administration of sports in the football thing. Leave it alone because I don't corrupt the thing. I don't decide who want to play where, when, and who to win, when, and when. On too much tonight, you don't have nothing to say. Me at all. That's why you need to give me my one show, make me drape up them. Yeah. Then I can't go everywhere, man.
All right.
Anything what is the people involved in it.
I think though Issa is a good organization because they understand the inner workings of the school. They understand the kids' grades and what the kids are doing in school. So I think a board of principals who are responsible firstly for educating our kids, and I don't see a problem with them leading it. Man, I can understand an independent body of people, but that don't mean that the rules from an independent body will not be skewed in a particular way. That's what Donovan McCowder is saying. Donovan McCowder is saying that an independent body won't stop corruption. We have many independent bodies in Jamaica running things. Look at the group of people who sometimes run our track and field. But even with that, you still have a perceived corruption. So I think the Issa is probably, I don't know, let me hear from some of the people in the comment. Do you agree with Gunner's boss that an independent body should be formed to govern sports at the high school level, and Issa, that responsibility be removed from Issa?
Then my name is man. When the principal, and it is the more prominent principal come with this body. And me sure you know say Porus High School and Belfield High School and them school, them not have nobody in the board, you know. So them always are left behind, you know, especially now that the realignment coming where high school realigned with secondary school and becomes one, you know, after them product and get water down and get poor now, you know. So them are gonna do everything to keep for them things on top, you know. How can you have these kind of draconian law where kids who trying to make a future out of football don't play football for 4 years and you say you're a good organized? No, you have to find better ways for that. You are not doing nothing for the boys or the girls or the students athletes by doing those kind of things. Them need to go. So, if you come on down a steps, me know your name, but me not call your name. You know yourself. You need to check on yourself and get some independent people for running the thing and go sit down and go teach you pick them in a school that you have pass AA, no. Then you can't even pass English and maths to go join.
Well, Stefan Wright says that you're talking madness, beating the press. Big up yourself. Sports and Looseman says Issa is a far better organization than JFF. Caller, a chat madness. Soldier says, no way, Mannings. I don't agree. Right? Yeah, so not a lot of agreement for Gunner's boss idea. Welcome to the show. The man from Trinidad his background is in the same color as this super sticker or super chat from El Gran Hero, one of our moderators. Big up yourself. Thanks for that. So what he has done, look at that. Awesome. He understands the fees of YouTube. So he sends 20, but he makes sure he sends the taxes. Along with it. Big up yourself.
That's a good observation about the colors. Good morning.
Good morning. So let me finish reading this rule, right? It says
before you read it, and that's what caused me to come on, because I don't want to stay on long. I heard you reading the rule just now, and I'd like you to just reread the section that you read just now.
All right. So I'm going to people, I don't know if you know it, so let me put it on the screen first, and then we will read it. All right. So share, let's go. So if you want people, you know, it don't belong to Mannings, man. It says multiple transfer. It says transfer students will not be allowed to participate if transferred amongst member school more than once. So question 1, what does this mean? It means that effective January 1, 2020, no student/athlete will be allowed to compete for a third school in any Issa competition. Therefore, having represented 2 previous schools in any Issa competition, all students will be barred from competing for another school. Question 2, are there any exception where students will be allowed to represent a third Issa member school after January 1, 2020? Yes. In cases where students represent other member schools before January 1, 2019, the number of schools represented prior to this date will be disregarded. All right?
Okay. So because of my background and some of the work I've done in the past, I heard you reading that, and something came to mind. It sounded awfully familiar to me. And I want to read something to you and tell me if it sounds familiar. Right? This is Section 5 of Article 3 from the FIFA regulations on the status and transfer of players. Okay?
Okay.
It says that each association must have...
Go ahead. Each association must have...
Hold on a minute. I want to go exactly to the spot. Exactly to the spot. Hold on for a quick minute. I don't want to read all of that.
We also have Maxwell on the line. He's also...
They compete. Everything move. I lost the document. Hold on.
Big up cases. Mannings has a better marketing department than the GFF. Big up. So they said you found it, Andre. Leader.
No, hold on, you go ahead.
Well, while Andre looks for that, right?
Okay, so look at here, right?
All right, go ahead.
Players may be registered with a maximum of 3 clubs during one season. During this period, the player is only eligible to play official matches for 2 clubs, subject to the temporary exception below. as an exception to this rule, a player moving between two clubs belonging to associations with overlapping seasons, i.e., start of the season in summer as opposed to winter spring, may be eligible to play in official matches for a third club during the relevant season, and it go on and on, right? That came to mind when I heard you read what you just read, right? So it seemed as though it's not. If we do we agree that schoolboy football is grassroots football?
It's a part of grassroots football.
Right. So can it be as simple as you are registered with a school for 1 year, okay? And at the end of that year, right, if you change school or you move, you have to re-register. And during the course of the season, if you have to change school, it is as simple as you go to the coach and then they go to the governing body and ask for a transfer. Are we complicating it by using rules that is designed for professional football? Because what I just read to you, that's not easy for the average person to understand, right?
Okay, yeah, well, that is true. Yeah,
right. So, and it sounds quite similar to what you just read.
Yeah.
It sounds quite similar. So it sounds like somebody just lift this out of there and say, well, let me rewrite this and try to apply it, as opposed to say, look, you are registered from August to July to your school, from August to July. After that, it takes a new registration again for the next season. So if a player wishes to move, because these are amateur footballers, and there shouldn't be any restriction on where they want to play, to the extent that young players are getting banned for X amount of years because they may have violated a rule that they
well, it's not understand. That they are banned, it's that they become ineligible, meaning that they are players now who are 16 years old, who are in high schools, that if they go up to sixth form, they have like 16, 17, 18, 4 years. Could have 4 years, but they can't play any football if they stay in school for that time, because they have already gone beyond the amount of transfers. And what happened is that I don't think some of them knew that they would not have been allowed to play. I think genuinely some of them, maybe the parents knew, maybe the schools that were involved knew, but the kids themselves, I don't think they knew that this would have been the case.
So ban, ineligible, 6 or 1/2 a dozen at the next. At the end of the day, the victim, if you want to call it that, is the player, right? And that's
my point.
That should not be what comes out of youth sport. And I think, for me, when you read that, it sounded a lot like the FIFA regulations on the status of transfer player, which is designed for the professional environment, and it needs something a lot simpler for dealing with youths, right? I know here in the US, you register for a year.
All right, can I interject? Hold on, go ahead, leader. I'm going to read some other parts of the rule, but let me hear from leader. But people, let me just say this, because leader has players that are his players that have been caught up in this. So when we listen to leader, I just want it to be clear, the people, you must bear that in mind, because leader have players that are his players that are caught up in the saga. So I think he's a good voice to listen to, though it may sound like he's speaking concerning his players. All right, but just put that out there.
Okay, look here now. First thing is the gentleman was describing a situation for that FIFA has, that's regarding for whether it's pro or amateur players. We not playing for more than 3 clubs. That is a standard thing. However, it does in the Issa situation, once you play for a second, it's not just that year, it's for the rest of your life. You understand? So if you have made a mistake and just transferred to another school, that will haunt you for the rest of your life. Okay? That is what is happening with this new rule. There's no subjectivity. It's just wrong. But
leader, let me just read this, and then, because what you just said, probably you'd give an appropriate response to this. If a player wishes to transfer 3 times, maybe it's time to look at himself and realize that the problem might be within himself and not with the school.
Can I say something, please?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at a hypothetical case here.
Are
right?
you going to answer El Gran Hero's question though?
The question? I'm actually answering it here. Okay. I'm actually answering it now.
Okay, go ahead.
The reasons, if a youngster is at, say, school A, right? And there is violence in his neighborhood, which is a common thing in Africa. And he moves to, say, a private institution, right, which is in the countryside, that sort of thing. And, right, which he was expecting to go there, and then maybe at some other time when the violence eases down, he can go back to his school, right? Okay, that player now might be, when he's at the private institution might say, look here, he might be transferred and he's not really fully aware that this is what happened to another high school. And then he plays. So this player now, when things
leader, what I have to ask you is this. Can a player change school without parental consent?
Without parental consent? Well, look here. Generally, if you look at what the paperwork that is done, generally it can happen without the parent will have to know, of course. But generally, there's nothing for the parent. There are certain things there that the parent would probably sign the name to, right? But the parent would have to be aware of them changing schools.
Exactly. So
you understand? They have to be aware. There's nothing to.
In your hypothetical, when that private institution is registering the child to a next school, where is because the parent has to sign that whenever that child is changing institution. You cannot have a child. Listen now.
Yeah. That's one that I would have to investigate a little, because in some cases, right, there are no signatures done, and the legality of it is another thing. So I can't comment on it. I don't want to say anything on that aspect, whether or not that was done, because there have been other cases. I don't want to go into too much into that. Let's just say as if a youngster in there, once he's at, say, a private institution, remember he's going to be under the auspices of somebody else. So that person hypothetically can register them. They are representing the parents.
Leader, I spoke to several principals, and a legal guardian parent must sign one of the key documents for a child to be registered in a school. And here is a teacher saying, a person saying, I am a teacher. Parents or guardians have to sign. So
I know that there's our guardians.
Yeah. Legal
so
guardian. It can't be just like, no, but you can't turn hold on, leader. I cannot turn up at the school and say that I'm signing the document for leader's son.
Okay, let me tell you something. Right? To have legal guardianship in the Jamaican situation is a very complex thing. So it's not like the youngster is at his auntie and the auntie say, oh, he's guardian. But look here, to get legal guardianship is a very complex thing that has to go before the court. No. And so on. So the thing in Jamaica, hold on now, is that the youngster is left with, say, an auntie or something, or even somebody.
Didn't we have a case like that earlier this year where a player, I think 6 between Woolmers and Hydel, where the mother said that she never signed anything for her son to move, and the son is in fact
he hadn't moved.
No,
he
but what I'm saying,
as yet.
Right, but the mother said that she did not sign anything. That's one of the things she said.
She didn't give any okay of him, but going to I think a camp.
Then leader, she did
and
not.
He was under 18.
Leader, this is what she said. I did not sign anything.
Correct.
So a child cannot be registered legally in any educational institution without some signature from the parent or guardian, which could be a grandmother or your aunt who is your legal guardian. And I'm not talking about going through it, because a grandmother maybe the mother and the father are not in Jamaica, and that grandmother now is responsible. But you cannot have the child in a school and in brethren come sign for him, or in coach come sign for him, or in agent come sign for him. It has to be a parent.
Hold on, Manins.
All right, yes.
I'm going to come off and come back in about 1 minute. I'm going to make a call and confirm something.
All right, go ahead.
So, Manins, let me ask you a question. So, is it should you be looking at the football registration rules or the school registration rules? Because at the end of the day, they go to these institutions for academic reasons, right?
Yeah.
Right. That is the way it should be. So where a kid goes to school must be, because I don't know what the rules are in terms of the government rules, but must be a school in the area that he lives, right? And if he wants to go outside of that, it's probably private school, or he has to have some application process.
It don't have to be in the area, because I think when you're doing your the primary exit stuff, you select what school you want to attend with your parents.
Right.
So you have a choice in like 4 or 5 schools. Based on the grade that you achieve, you're placed in those schools, because certain school you have to average a certain amount to get into.
Right.
So a child may not get into the desired school, and the desired school may want the child to be there. So what they do, they say to the parents, you can bring the child to the school. We will give them a spot. That is counted as a transfer.
Right.
After a couple of years, the parent says, listen, I don't like how you're treating my son. I want them to move and go to a next school. All right?
Right.
And this is where now the problem comes up, because what Issa is saying is that you can't just keep transferring from school to school and playing our competition. If you have gone to of our member school, if you go to a next one, you're not going to be allowed to play any more football in our schooling system, because this to us is not an educational thing that you're doing, but you're doing it for the sole purpose of sport. And we're trying to stamp that out, because our sports is extracurricular activity and we want it to focus on schoolwork.
So and that's the point there, right? That's the point. The point that you just made is school is for school purposes, but in the region, schoolboy football is serving another purpose. And it sounds like it's a problem not with the organization or anything. It sounds like it's a problem with the adults, and the kids are paying the price for it. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see it that way.
Yeah, I mean, totally. I see somebody here saying that, and for clarification, the young man is back at Woolmer's. His grandmother, who he lives with, gave him permission for camp, saying all that is to agree. The guardianship of a child seems a little complex. Okay, all right. But let me read a little further, because part of the rule is this: is a change of school or to sixth form regarded as a transfer? Yes. For the purpose of this rule, a student who changes school and seek to represent his new school while in sixth form is regarded as transferring his registration with Issa. If a student returned to his previous school after transferring to and representing another Issa member school, will this be regarded as him representing a third school? Yes, I like the language him. So this is about boy, it appears. Academic eligibility. What are the changes to the academic standard required for student athletes? Effective September 1, 2018, all students from grades 7 to 13 are allowed to use internal grades, not external, which are exam, internal grades, to be eligible for all competition. Previously, students who were promoted from grade 11 to grade 12 to 13, sixth form, were required to submit external CXCs and City and Guilds and an NCT vet, which with passes in at least 4 subjects. Students who wish to change school and attend grades 12 to 13, sixth form, at another school must, however, still provide evidence of passes in 4 external examinations or sit out the mandatory 1 year waiting period before competing for their new school in grade 12 to 13. Please note that Issa keeps an electronic database which allows it to register student athletes who move from one member school to another. All right? So you can use internal grades. All right. Leader, you're back. Yeah.
Okay. Mannings, look here. It's a long time I don't come with an exclusive bombshell. How much you think there is that now, by the way? How many people watching?
We have 94 people watching right now.
Make it, how many likes you have there?
We only have 46 likes. People make it 50 likes.
Make it go up to 50.
Yeah.
Make it go up to 50. And we'll give you that little exclusive.
All right.
Hot.
People, all right.
Hot.
Hold on. Leader says he has a hot exclusive. Get it up to 50 likes. It's Super Friday. Drop a super
60. Sorry, 60.
He says, so 14 more. Drop a super sticker, a super chat. All right? Something. You see, if exclusive, we end the call.
It's exclusive. If
wow, we end the call.
It's hot.
And if hot,
it's hot.
If it don't hot, we're gonna cut off leader. So hit the like button, drop a super sticker, drop a super chat. Somebody become a member of the channel. You understand me? All right, somebody. A man say must buy for a couple of days. If you notice, these quota issues don't seem to come up with champs because the big three schools still are going to dominate anyways. I think you touched on that, man. Yeah, that's my point. At the end of the day, the people who the rules were meant to hurt the most are still doing well. None of these rules have stopped Casey and Calabar from dominating and JC from dominating champs. None. Or Edwin Allen.
Because they still can take an excess amount. And then none of these
rules have stopped the dominance of Jamaica College, or Casey in schoolboy football, or Clarendon College. So, who is the rule benefiting?
It's hurting people, youngsters. Because there are a lot of youngsters packed up at all of those schools at the Calabar, the KC, the JC, the Clarendon, a lot of them are packed up. And when they have to pick out 3, there are 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, sometimes in double figures that are basically going to suffer because of this foolish rule.
All right, so we are at 60 likes, leader. So let me hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just called a parent. I can give you the name of the parent after. Right, he's somebody that has played for Kingston FA Academy. He currently attends Jamaica College. So I'm going to call him more. He was a part of Mount Pleasant. He this is not the kid doing now. The gentleman has a son there also, and he had another 2 of them that were there. I asked him. I called, and I asked whether or not his son, who was 12 years old at the time, if he at any time filled up any document, right, to allow his son to be registered at York Castle High School to play. Okay? The gentleman said he never did, but he's assuming that Mount Pleasant probably did it for him. He never gave consent for it. When he heard that it was done, it was after the youngster was playing. He never knew about it. And I can pass on his name.
All right, fine.
Very prominent, I can tell you.
All right, so leader.
We're talking very prominent.
All right, leader. So you're saying to me that my son is at an academy. That academy moves my son out of the academy, brings him to a school. He starts attending a different school, wearing different uniform, getting different books, not at the place that I dropped him off. He starts playing football, and all of this time I don't know until I see him playing in a match.
Yes, sir.
So
remember, he's not physically. Remember, they board at Mount Pleasant, so they're basically going to go to York Castle for classes. So it's basically it.
So he's
not
there.
Right.
Leader, here's what I'm asking. Think about this.
And this is
hold on, leader. So your daughter, you have a daughter, a 14-year-old daughter. You drop her off at Westwood High School. A month after you drop her off, your daughter is now going to a school in Brownstown. You have no clue about it. The only time you find out is weeks after when you see your daughter on TV playing a game.
Do you want me to give you the
No,
gentleman number and call him and ask him if he wants to come on?
You can ask me if he wants to come on. No, but let me ask you.
I'll ask him.
So leader, as a
And I'll give
parent,
his number.
as a parent leader, as a parent, you don't see no issue with that. And the parental
I do. And the good thing is, let me just make one thing here. The good thing is, I think it offers a lot of hope for all of those youngsters that played at at York Castle last year to overturn that, because I think it can easily be proven, and I can say thank you for this, because I think it can easily be proven now that, something happened that it should be wiped clean. That actual thing with York Castle should be wiped clean because of that. That I don't know. I'm going to assume that the same thing happened for its two parents actually are contacted. Right? The same thing that happened for these two would have been the same thing across the board.
I think if a person,
you want him to come off and speak to the parent and then come on back, please? Give me a minute. I'll come back.
Yeah, all right.
Management, one of the things I would I guess caution, put some caution in. Names of organizations are being called, and in situations where it sounds like young people that would be considered minors are not being handled properly. And I don't know for sure if that's the right way in which to handle it, because if somebody is signing somebody else's child up for something, that's a real problem anywhere in the world. I think it should be right, either for the organization or for the parents. That doesn't sound like it's legal behavior.
So remember now, like I don't know what the dynamics are, but
right.
the two institutions, one wear khaki and upperlet or and tie, the other one wears denim and a white. So if my son entire uniform is being changed, or my daughter, how do I not know?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make much sense, and if you don't know as a parent, then that's a problem. That's a real problem for you. And if an organization is making those decisions without the authority, that's a problem for them as well. If they're not registered as a guardian of that kid or whatever the case may be. So all around, it doesn't sound good. It sounds like a real messy situation.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not saying it is not possible, but there is a responsibility, I believe, that parents have that must be considered. All right, so.
Well, I assume you're going to get a call just now and you're going to get.
Yeah, all right, so leader, you're back.
Yeah, man, I like something about that. I'm going to give you a phone number there,
All right,
but
so
you have to lift it up again. Them have to lift it up again, man.
They have to lift up.
This one is hot because them. Look here, you see this call? Them going to record it and then going to play it back on some other show and thing. I tell you. What do you like that now?
People, the preferred leader. 653.
You can't use that phone number. No, get it up to 70 and then they can make the call to the
get it. All right, people.
70, you can make the call. The call will shake things. Trust me.
All right. So leader says he has a earth-shaking number that he has given to me. That if the likes get up to 70, when I make this phone call, the earth is going to quake and shake because it is baking. Oh, leader. People, come on, it's Super Friday. Come on, man. Want to the super sticker.
Let me explain to you. This is not somebody that was induced with any likes. The man has
No, you don't.
change. Him don't never need that.
I don't.
So I just make it clear.
No, let the man speak for himself.
No, what I mean, okay, you can ask him, you know, credentials and all of that. You understand? He's very involved in football and has two youngsters very involved. One of the youngsters, a big name that people know, but that's not going to come out. But what in the recent yet, sir?
Huh? Oh, you
in the recent yet?
You want it up to 70? Oh, it's at 72. But we not
how much?
We not see no super sticker. We not see no super chat. We not see nothing like that.
Anyway, the gentleman waiting on your card.
You want to see how much they use the program. Finish. Hey, leader, listen. What I don't want to do, I don't want anybody to get in problem because my concern is just the kids, as you know, and I want to make that clear.
No, nobody not going to. Anybody, I think I explained to them before.
Yeah, because my concern is this. I believe that a lot of these decisions are made at the detriment of the kids. So that is what I am here trying to resolve. I'm not here to expose people, but I think the truth must be told and the truth must be exposed so that we can deal with it as responsible adults to the benefit of our young men and young women. I suspect there are more of this. There is a case that really and truly, you know, it should have gone to it is a legal issue, but Issa has dealt with matters the way they want to. Because when people falsify information for our kids to present, and this is not a new thing, this has been going on from the whole grade situation. And that is why Issa have an electronic way, because people are even falsifying grades of kids so that they can participate. And then when these kids leave school, they don't have any academical qualification because they were being given grades that were inaccurate so that they could play the sport. And this must stop. And then when Issa comes out and says, and principals who allow the kids in the schools, the said principal come out and says, this is extracurricular activity. If it is for extracurricular activity and you are the principals, why even you, principal and Issa board, you are allowing this in your own school? That is what I can't understand. You understand what I'm saying? If you come out and say, no, this is just extracurricular activity, why are you allowing these transfers in your own school, causing disruption in the whole thing? When you know there's no big benefit from it because it's just PE exaggerated.
Yeah, Manins. Let me just say something. Let me just ask you something. The name is there. You recognize the name, by the way?
Yeah, man. I know.
Okay, let me just make, and you know, this youngster is not connected with me in any way.
Yeah, man.
It's just that father and I are friends.
Yeah, man. I know that.
So you can go ahead when you're ready still.
Yeah,
okay, so just to make people know, say, you're also not connected to me in any way.
Yeah, all right. So people, that is true. This person is not connected. This is not like a leader player. Right? So let leader stay on the line. We're gonna make this phone call. We're gonna talk to this parent. Hold on, let me see. And thank you for this, leader. You understand me? but leader, you need to stop moving the people's kids all over the place too,
Boy. We give youngsters opportunities, sir.
Yeah?
We try to give youngsters opportunity.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Not a problem. I hear you. Hold on. Let me see if we can we're going to try and see if we can fix this. I hope someone involved is listening, and the program is open as well. If you believe that what is being said is not a true representation, come and clarify it. I'll also say this: there's a couple of schools. I think there's a couple of schools who don't do that. I've once been told that Wolmers don't believe in those things. I don't know if they have changed now. Like Wolmers don't believe in this whole recruiting thing.
Hold on there, sir. No, don't say that. Don't say that. Let's not go there.
That's what I've been told by many Woodmerian, that they don't
Excuse
believe
me,
in.
my two of my sons went to Wolmer's. They were recruited. There are a lot of others. Let's not go there. Let's not even open that can of worms, please, sir.
Yeah, and I see somebody.
There are a lot of things I can say, but we're not going to touch over there.
All right. I see Chris Wayne saying that St. George's as well. Burtis once said.
No, either. Don't go there either. I am one of the top people I recruit. The last time St. George's won, almost all of the players that to them, I carried them there. Don't go there.
Okay.
Let's not go there.
All right. We good afternoon. We have with us. Is this Mr. Lai?
Yeah, man, afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is Omar Stinnett, Man, and I am Sure Sports. I have Mr. Paul Maxwell also online with me. And
okay,
yeah, man, he made a connection because we were just having a conversation about just how sometimes the kids get affected by the transfer policy, whether knowingly or not, and end up in a situation where they may not be allowed to play any schoolboy football because they have exceeded the amount of transfers that they can do in their school life, in their time in school. All right. And this has affected, I know, I'm intimate with a situation where one youngster from the academy in St. Anne, who ended up, when they were trying to get him in a school just recently, they found out that it was popping up that he was at Yard Castle. And and so there was some a little bit of problem with that. So Mr. Maxwell said that you have a similar situation that you could explain, because I'm saying, how can the parent not know that their child is in a different institution and they never signed anything for that? How did the child move then from where you sent the child to a brand new institution, going school there and all of that?
So I get the feeling that the student never actually moved. I think what happened really is that they registered them at that institution. I suppose just to get them to play within the Issa competition. So, I would have attended even one class. It's some kind of a collaboration, I think, where the St. Anne school with the other school that is registered, and they get to play under that umbrella,
So okay, so they were still registered at the academy, but played for the high school.
Yes.
But attended.
Yes, they're still at the academy, attending school.
Attending school.
But they played for the high school.
All right. So as a father of one of those kids, did you give permission for your son to play in the high school competition?
Well, they didn't require any permission per se. What they did really is they notified me, yes, that they'd be wanting. Well, I actually had two sons there, so they notified me that they'd be wanting one to play the under 14 because he was a younger one, and the other one to play the Costa Cup. At that time it was at first tight-lipped as to how they intend to do this, because I at first thought, that the academy was actually going to be permitted to play. It wasn't until later that I found out that no, they played under a different umbrella. And then the academy now said to us that, okay, this would have been a joint program. So we don't, as parents, don't understand the whole process by which that is possible, but we later learn that they're playing. And they're playing under as a high school.
Oh, okay. All right. I still trying to understand though that because if I have a son who is in a high school and I move him to an academy, why would the academy play him in a high school competition? My son was in a high school and I took him out of high school to play in an academy. Why would he go back into a high school to play? If he were in a,
I figure this is how they you know, the boys want to play, and even in an academy setting, they also want to play, and they want to play at the most competitive level for their age group. So, you know, what you find is that these boys will, you know, almost go full length just to play some football. And of course, the academy not being a part of the league wants also to appease them, wants also to, you know, keep them active, keep them competitive. And so it's easy on their part to, you know, have the boys play, you know, and frankly, they don't even need any written permission from the parent, because once they attend in the academy, then that is, you know, really the academy's prerogative.
So in other words, you did not sign any permission for your son to play?
No, and none was sent to me, really. There was none sent to me for him to play. In fact, I was out of the country when that other son was playing.
Okay. So,
Management, can I just say something real quick?
I have my co-host, Andre Fortune is his name. He's a Trini in the States. This is Mr. Oh, you pronounce the surname live?
No, my surname is Henry.
Henry, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Andre. You can go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Henry.
Yes, afternoon.
Yeah, I think all I'd say is, you know, as someone with kids as well, especially in football, a sport that is so attractive to many young men, the responsibility, and this is not to you, this is just a general statement. The responsibility of parents is to guide their kids at the end of the day and protect them from themselves. It doesn't matter what the kid feel he should do or whatever the case may be. The parent role is to guide the kid and make sure that the parent understand what needs to take place. Okay. And a lot of times with young footballers, as you just said, they just want to play football. They're not thinking about the next day or the next hour. They just want to play football. And if we allow them to make those decisions without our guidance, then this is the consequence. Because the truth is, and this is my belief, that most of the times the people outside of that what should be that close-knit circle, the family and close guidance, they can't care. It's just impossible that they can care about those young kids like a parent with like a dad would, and that kind of stuff. And it's unfortunate. They have other ambitions as it relates to the kid. So it's difficult to hear what seemed to be the suggestion, you know, whether you was out of the country or not. I can tell you, I have kids that play professionally, and I can give you and I don't like to talk about my thing, but I just show you the difference. I was out of the country. My son was being offered a contract, right? And they wanted him to sign on the Wednesday. And I was going to be back the Friday. And we asked, hey, my son said, my dad is going to be back on Friday. So could we take care of this over the weekend? And they pulled the contract back. And that was fine with me. Because I was in a different time zone, couldn't give it the attention that it needed. Okay. And I would not have advised him to sign it until I could look at it properly. Right. And if they had cared about him, they would have waited for his dad to come back. Right. Because they would have done the same for Erling Haaland and for all those other guys playing in other parts of the world that we come to know about. So as parents, we have to make sure that we are guiding our kids and not let others take that responsibility. That's just my addition to that.
What do you say about that?
Yes, that is true. That is fair. But in circumstances parents can also be exploited in circumstances where parents are not fully appraised, especially the regulations and guidelines surrounding the particular competition or event. You rest all your confidence on the institution in which you place the kid. And so,
could I cut you off a little bit?
When no contract has been presented to me to say, okay, he's gonna be playing in a particular competition and under different umbrella, I can't even question it.
Again, I would say to you that it's hard to accept that the parents don't know. We live in a time period where it's easier to know what's going on from maybe 2 decades ago. Information is at our fingertips. Yeah. We could know what's going on if we want to know what's going on. We could know. So again, the fact that a parent does not know, and I understand people could have different experiences in their life in terms of education level and all of that stuff, and I'm sure that's not the case here. But what we cannot not know when it comes to our children, as somebody else is gonna take control, they're gonna fill that void, and they're gonna make decisions. And as we are finding out here, that's not gonna benefit our kids in the end. So
well, what I have to say to that is this is why in a professional setting, FIFA has sort of commissioned licensed agents to represent the players, because in that instance, then you would not have to deal with people who have not been appraised, people who are not knowledgeable on the process. You know, the institutions would just deal with the agents. Now, this is how the academy acts. The academy acts as an agent. And so you trust that they are acting in you and your child's best interest. And so there are times when there are actual laws and guidelines and regulations that, listen, I look at one of the FIFA documents one time trying to make a decision for my child, and I just couldn't understand the thing. Too many legal terms, you know? And I wouldn't say I'm the least learned person. It's just that some of these things you definitely just, it is not worded in a way for you to fully understand. You have to be advised by others.
Yeah. So let me ask this question. Hold on a sec, because again, people, let me ask, is the player able to play in schoolboy football now? Because this is an under 15 player. Does this decision affect him playing?
Honestly, I don't even know.
Transfers now. Yes, I can answer that.
Is he? Okay. Let me ask a different question. Hold on. So is he playing schoolboy football now?
No. I doubt that he was eligible to play, and this is why I didn't bother to go through that transfer.
Oh, so the issue I have is that a young player who is a part of the national setup has to not play any football because of all of this. That is my biggest issue in this. I cannot see how that is helping in the player's development, because this is probably 1 year, or it could be even more. I don't know what the rule is.
Okay. So I think we're a little mistaken here. But as I said before, there are two boys. Okay. One of which is eligible to play. And when you mention the national setup, then I figure that you're referring to him. He is eligible to play because he wasn't registered under. He had not played at all in the high school.
Okay, so he can play, but the other one cannot play because he would have.
He can play. No, Mannings. If that youngster moves because of his age, he would not sit out, but he'd be a quota player.
No, okay. No, leader. I said, let me give you an example again, leader. I have a player, and this is, I'm not going to call the school, but the player was moved from Mount Pleasant. They were trying to register him to play. When they put in all the information, they were told by Issa he has to sit out a year. He is under...
Because of his age?
No, he's 14 years old. He has to sit out a year because when it came up, he didn't come up in the Issa system as Mount Pleasant. It came up as York Castle.
Right. He had, well, no. When, hold on there.
Leader, listen to me.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I got that information. I was doing, that is what happened. So if you're saying that in Manning Cup, it's a different ruling, you can tell me that. But I'm telling you.
No, not Manning. It's one rule.
So listen what I'm telling you. The rule is because he's at York Castle, he cannot go and play this season. If he were coming directly from Mount Pleasant, he could.
And that is for none of the Issa competitions, right?
None of the Issa competitions. He cannot play right away.
Well,
that was my understanding.
If he were coming from directly from the academy, he could play if he's under the age of 16. But if he's coming from an Issa member school, he has to sit out a year.
But Mannings, but that is where the problem is now. They say.
But the rule is clear. That is the rule.
But they are not. The problem is, they are not. It does. Has that kind of worms here. Because it looks like none of these kids do the necessary details in attending school daily for a certain percentage of time either.
No, but
this looks very messy.
But the
York Castle thing is very messy.
Leader, you're making this here.
It's very messy.
But Mr. Henry explained to you that though they were doing school at Mount Pleasant, the partnership mean that they were playing for York Castle. And this is where what I am saying is that if the parent were abreast of the rule, right, knowing that maybe, down the road I may want them to come back to St. Catherine or to Montego Bay or to Westmoreland or to Kingston, do not let them play in that competition. Because once you play for Issa once you play for Issa member school, it don't matter if you're going to classes at I Am Sure Sports Academy. You played for Issa member.
It does.
No, leader.
No.
All right, explain it to me.
Let me tell you what the rule says. Hold on now. There's a section of the rule. Listen now clearly. And this is very, very clear. It's not good. No partnership. Players have to, right? Look here.
No, don't paraphrase. Do not paraphrase. Okay. Read the rule for me.
Okay, no, I don't have the rule in front of me.
Let
me just hold on now. Hold on. Okay, let me tell you what happened.
Mr. Henry,
most of those
Mr. Henry, isn't that your isn't that your understanding as well? The fact that they played at a Issa member school, they have to sit out a year. If he was coming directly from the academy, he would not have to, because it's not an Issa member school, so he could play right away if he's under the age of 16. But because he played for Issa member school, he has to sit out a year because because it's a Issa
and
member
he's also
school.
going to be a quota. But Mannings, let me tell you something here now, What is happening, and this is if the young, it is confusing because what happens here now is the York Castle would have entered them in their system. No, hold on now. York Castle would have entered them in their thing as coming from a private school, which was Mount Pleasant. But, right, the youngsters, were they actually registered by the parents? That's what I'm trying to say. But even that youngster you're coming with.
No, but what I'm saying to you
is not partnership.
No, what I'm saying to you, leader, that's a different argument. Because we have passed that argument where Mr. Henry has explained.
I recognize that's a different addressing a different matter.
Exactly. No, we can take up the argument about the parent not, and then we can question whether or not York Castle was in breach or Mount Pleasant. We can take up that. But as it relates to the player, the fact that he played, even if the rules were not kept by York Castle or Mount Pleasant or whatever, or the parents didn't sign, that's maybe a matter for court. But as it relates to the player, they played in an Issa competition for an Issa member school. And where that is concerned, the rule says they must sit out a year. That is
And
clear.
it's clear. It's clear. That's clear.
Yes.
That is clear. That is clear now. That is clear. There's nothing wrong with that youngster. He definitely has to sit out because the document, don't care how you want to do it, he would come up on their system as being a Yardcastle. So that is very clear.
All right. Yeah.
It's very clear.
Yeah. So me.
Well,
Why
the
this
school that we were seeking to transfer to also understood it like that, and they were saying the only way you could play this year would have been maybe if Yardcastle is not entering.
There you go.
You know, and
Yes.
right, and then we found out that they entered. I don't know if they entered in the smaller competition, the U14 and 16, but I know they entered the Manning Cup one, the Acasta Cup, sorry. So as a result of that, then he wouldn't be able to play. He would have to sit out.
So you just made a decision for him to stay and play because playing football is more important.
I made a decision for him to stay at the institution rather than being transferred.
Yeah.
And sit out that this year. Because I prefer him to, and this is a purely academic decision. It wasn't, having learned that he wouldn't be able to play, then it would be in his best interest academically for him to stay and continue that before, So
Okay.
next season, next football season, Issa season, he would be eligible because he would have sat out a year, and then he would have acquired, the necessary academics for the transfer.
Which is part of the issue. Hold on, leader. Let me just say something. Part of one of the other issues I have is where the grades are concerned, and this is why I think it is important that a lot of these players from this academy just sit out a year, because a next situation is when the grades were requested, because the grades have to be uploaded. Part of Issa's rule now is that the internal grades, I believe, must be uploaded to this new portal that they have. All right. So because some of these kids were playing at one institution while enrolled in the academy, like some of the grades, the internal grades are not available. I don't know if they weren't doing any schoolwork. I don't know. So what in one case they had to get like the transcript from the 7th grade, though the kid was in grade 8, because whatever was going on between both institutions, there was no grade. So I think parents, if you know this, because if you have a son that is averaging, say he went to a prep school or a primary school and he's averaging 80 and 90, and he's at this institution, and then, there should be a check on how is your schoolwork. Do you want them to play football? How is your schoolwork?
Yes.
And if there are no grades, then listen, I have to make a decision, not just on the football, but based on, he's not developing the proper educational acumens that if football doesn't work out, he can move on to something productive in life.
But man, can I get clarification on something?
Go ahead.
The parents said just now that he transferred to this school and they found out that he has to sit out for a year. And he said that he when they found that out, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, then he went back to the previous school for academic reasons. Is that what he said just now?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yes.
why did he transfer? Was that for academic reasons as well?
No, the original purpose for transfer really was because of relocation. So I wanted him to be relocated in Kingston, in a closer area, and
but you transferred him back. You transferred him back when you found out he
Yes.
couldn't play, and you say it's for academic reasons.
I actually.
Yeah,
I transferred him back.
Andrew, let him answer. Let him finish and then you ask.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yes, I transferred him back when all the stars weren't aligned. I realized he couldn't play, and it would be better for him to stay where he is, continue getting good grades, because his grades are really good, and then transfer in the final year, where our next year rather, where he could continue the same courses that he was actually doing at the institution.
Let me say something here now, please, quickly.
Okay.
Very important. When he makes this other transfer, you are aware that he would have to sit out, right?
You mean for the next year?
Yes, are you aware?
Even though
I
he
don't
has
think
not
so.
played? No, I'm
Yes,
not aware.
Okay, well, I'm telling you, because let me tell you, a similar situation happened with another youngster. That they told him that if he came to the private institution for 1 year, he would be, like the slate would be wiped clean. That's not true.
Leader.
He has, yes.
Leader, what I would say to you is that, leader, you have to speak from the rule, you know. Because when
let me speak from the rule.
Let me say this.
Once he has attended.
Leader, just listen to me now. All right. You see, because you hear a case, you have to understand that you may not know all the details, and so you cannot use a case without clearly.
It's not a.
Let me just finish now without clearly stating what the rule says, because here it is, you're telling the parent that you would have to sit out a year.
Let me state the rules.
Hold on, when you don't have a rule that speaks to that. So what is the rule?
It does.
So all you have to do first, leader, all you have to do is to read the rule first. Don't paraphrase, read it.
Okay, hold on. Let me just go through it. Because you asked me to do something I do have in front of me. The rule actually says it matters not if what you're thinking about is like what people would call a breach.
Leader, what?
No, listen what I'm saying. You're not giving me a chance in a man, you know.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is exactly what the rule is. Listen, the rule says that once you have competed, it doesn't matter if for 1 year you went to a private high school and then the following year it wipes you clean. It does not. What they are going to be looking at is that you have at some stage in your lifetime, you were at a regular Issa school and you competed, and they have that on record. So I'm telling you as a fact that once you move, being at that private institution does not wipe the slate clean and make you eligible to play the following year, unless you have 4 subjects and you're swap. It does not work.
Leader.
It was tried by, I can mention the school. No. Let me mention the school. It was tried by a school this year and it did not work. They lost the points. Right? The youth came from a private institution after, and it's not the Mount Pleasant one we're talking about, it's Zidell. It happened. The youngster left from Holy Trinity, went to a private high school for a year, and when they tried, that was the same problem. It can't work. You can't bridge transfer that sort of thing and say they're going to be there for 1 year, 2 years. Once they have represented, it's there.
Leader. But this case is different from the one you just mentioned.
It's not.
Yes, it is. It is, leader.
How?
Because this person, first thing, you need to find the rule that speaks to that. Because I agree with Mr. Henry that the
same rule I sent it to you.
No, but there's nothing in what you sent me that suggests what you just said.
Once you have played for an Issa represented school, right? The 1 year, I can put you through to somebody else within Issa that got penalized because of this. It is a rule.
Leader. But
once you have played Issa competition, it's always there.
All I'm saying though, leader, I agree with the parent, because here's why. If the child is at a private, a non-Issa school, all right? A non-Issa school, at under 14, right? At under 14, the private institution had him register to play, but he was still enrolled at the private institution because and so he's still at the private institution. Hold on, he's still at the private institution, leader. All right, for a full year, and then after that year, he has his grade at the private institution. He can play when he goes to his new school.
Manins. Let me tell you something.
Henry?
Issa.
That's what I'm
saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Issa will have him as a student. Okay, let me don't care how you want to go about it. That youngster, for all intents and purposes from Issa, is that he was a student at York Castle for the last period, right? And it will always be there that he participates in an Issa competition. It is not wiped clean if after he stays at a private school for 4 years and then in that final year, he will still be quota. It does not wipe it clean. It is how it is.
So leader,
it does not.
Leader, you keep saying he's quota. Being quota don't stop him from playing. This is what we are saying, leader.
No, it does not stop him from playing.
But that's what we're
he
saying.
Will still have to sit out the year. Once he will still have to sit out the year.
But you're saying it is stop it. You're confused because if he has to sit out a year, it has stopped him from playing then.
Yes.
It will stop him from playing. If he moves next year, he will still have to sit out a year.
But that's how we don't agree with you. What I agree with you is that
he will.
Listen, what I agree with you is that he will be considered a quota.
He'll still have to sit out the year, sir.
I have to see that in the rule book because what I have from you says nothing like that.
You want me to leave and come back, sir?
you can leave and come back if you want.
But no, it look like I have to go.
Yeah,
I'm going to just give me a minute again, sir. 1 minute. I'll be back.
Mr. Henry,
I'll tell you something. Mornings, man. Funny enough, the school that was about to be transferred to is also of the understanding of the rules, like you and I are. That okay, he can do that year of absence then
at the private institution,
the existing school.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is why I said to him, I think if he does it there at that institution, academically it suits him better. Because moving to the new institution the next year, he'd still be eligible for even under 14 because he'd still be 13 then, right? And as such, even though he'd been fourth form, because he'd transferred to fourth form, so he would take all the subjects that he does. Because at the private, at the academy, they sort of tailor the academics, the curriculum to suit an athlete, right? And so he doesn't do the regular 15 subjects, right?
Right.
He does like 8 or 9 subjects. And because he's averaging in the 80s with these subjects, he's doing well there. I think it would be, sort of a challenge for him to move now, where he'd be doing 16 or 15 subjects, So it would be best to move when you would go into fourth form straight doing the subjects that you're carrying from the private institution.
Yeah.
So academically, it worked out better for him, I think.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say, and this is where I agree with Andre, right? So I have a son who can play local football, can control and pass, right? And persons have said, some persons have said, bring him here, let him go here, right? But one thing I know is that every decision that he makes, like nobody, because let me say it this way: if it were a daughter, and I use the example, if I had a daughter, and I said, okay, go to Trelawney Academy because you can play football, then I see my daughter decked out in Westwood soccer stuff playing. I want to know how my daughter that me drop off here end up there. That's not supposed to happen. So at the end of the day, if and this is me, if that were to happen to me as a parent, I'd have serious issues with the institution that did that.
Okay, so in my case in particular, truth be told, I didn't have a serious issue with the institution because of that. Okay. I wasn't in like a disagreement with the institution because of that. He wanted to play. I wanted to see him play. The school wanted him to play, and he was eligible to play that way, right? So that was good enough for me. As far as I'm concerned, is so long as he's being at the private institution doing his classes, developing the sport, developing himself in the sport, and having a chance to play football here or there or anywhere, it would be a good thing for me, right? That he'd be playing competitively as well, you know?
Yeah. I see someone ask why, if the kid is doing well academically and he's in an academy, why would he need to move? If and football is his thing, wouldn't the academy develop him and he's also doing well academically? Why would he need to move then?
Well, that is one of the discussion that the child, myself, and his other parent had, you know, when we decided to have him remain there.
Okay.
Because a lot of the intent to move is not really from the parent, you know, it's usually from the child because they want to go where they can play. You understand? And so just like I forgot the name of the fellow was saying, not leader, the other guy on the line.
Yeah, he's still here. Like Andre. He's still here. Andre. He's still here.
Andre, right. Sorry about that, Andre.
Yeah, no worries, big man.
Just like Andre was saying, you know, we as parents have to at some point draw the line and make certain decisions for the kids, because if you leave it up to them totally, their desire to be where the action is at will ruin their opportunities, you know, otherwise, you know. And so this is why we've taken that decision that even if we are to do a transfer, even if it is to move, this would not be the year. So, you know, there are some unfinished business there to settle with the academy, and so we would want him to complete that.
Okay, Andre, I think Andre had something that he wanted to say. Go ahead.
Yeah,
and Andre, just let you know, Mr. Henry, Andre has his own academy out there in North Carolina and stuff. So, and his son are play for their, you know, internationally for their country, and they also play in Europe. So he probably have some experience with kids going to academies and stuff like that. So, go ahead, Andre.
Yeah,
maybe you can recommend for me in Florida, because that's where we'll be heading to very soon.
Oh,
okay, yeah, we can talk about that. I think
sure.
In the conversations, and a lot of times that's what I was saying to you earlier. As a parent, you know, parents have to pay attention. We can trust individuals, but what is the trust based on? Right? We have to understand what's the intention of that individual and the motive or the organization towards my kid. I have to understand that, right? And the person must have, or the organization must have some integrity, so we know that if we're going to trust, we know what our trust is based on, number one. But number two, we can't just trust 100%. We have to be involved. We have to make sure every step of the way that everything makes sense. And as I listen to the conversation, it's okay. We don't want to say that we're making decisions based on football and not academics, but as we explain it more, it's sounding like football is the main motive for making some of these decisions. And that's okay too. But if I have a kid at that age, school is to provide education, and football education is provided somewhere else. And in my mind, that's the way it is. And if I have a son that wants to pursue football, he's going to have to be educated. So at an early age, he's going to go to the right schools and whatever the case may be. But we'll pursue football in another environment, because at the end of the day, you know, football education would happen over a 10 or 11 month period of time, not over 3 months. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And so, but yeah, but if he's thinking of pursuing football, let's say at a tertiary level now, you know, for one of the colleges, the education and the football has to go together. So this is actually training him from early. Wouldn't you say?
I would agree with you, but if he can't play for a year is a very long time for a young player to be out of the game. A year is a
I
very
think
long
he
time.
because he's in. I think he's in the academy playing.
Right.
Training and so, but he's not. He's
like,
just not
if
playing.
the game
Yeah, he's not playing in like a
Issa,
in a Issa competition, but he will
the
play in game.
schoolboy football.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right,
So
right,
if
right. So
he's
it's
at
not
an
us.
academy and the academy is training 4 days a week, 5 days a week, or something like that.
Yes.
Right. If
Something
he's
like
in an
that.
academy, and as far as I understand, Mount Pleasant is a very good environment. Why would he leave there? He's already there. He wants to go to college. He's in a good academy. He's learning the game. He's getting to play games. He's training 4 or 5 days a week. Why would he leave there to get himself tangled up in this web of whatever you want to label it?
Glorified PE.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. Well, this is it now. This glorified PE is
That's a good way
very,
to put
very
it, man, isn't it?
appealing. It is very, very appealing to the kids. In fact, it is stronger than even the peer pressure. Listen, don't underestimate this glorified PE in their eyes, you know. And I mean, when I hear my son citing people that has gone on from this glorified PE to be signed, you know, internationally, you know, I just have to tell him, well, that won't be your route. You understand? But
we have to protect them from themselves, right? We as the adults.
Yes.
When your first words in the conversation was, "I have a feeling." When man asks you a question, I have a feeling. Feeling is tied to emotions, right? There's nothing factual about feelings. Yeah, so what I'm saying. So we as adults, there's a lot of things. My kids would tell you they couldn't explain to their friends that they couldn't do when they were 13 and 14 and 15. They couldn't explain why they couldn't do it because everybody else was doing it. And the information they had is if you want to play professional football, you have to lead. All right. And you going in a different direction to everybody else. So if your friends call you up, and I put friends in quote, and say, look, let's go to the movie at 4:00 on Saturday evening, and you plan to train at 4:00 on Saturday evening, your response to them is, can we go at 7? Right? And if they're your friends and they really want your company, then they'll go at 7. But you're not going to give up training at 4:00 to go to the movies with them just because you want to be their friends, because that does not help you in the direction you want to go. So we have to give our kids the resilience and the ability to not feel that peer pressure to do things that others are doing just because we want to be part of. We have to do what's in our best interest, right? What helps serves our goal. So yes, I understand the allure of schoolboy football. I understand it. I understand the situation. I don't understand why it has such prominence. But at the end of the day, as adults, we've got to help them. If he has ambition to do something else, he's in a good spot. That the pro team coming out of that academy just won the league. That academy just sent a kid to Italy. Why would I want to leave there? It's just.
Let me just say this. Mr. Henry. Let me give you
go ahead.
So I have, like I told you, I have a son. So this summer I had the opportunity of being in different environment, right?
By the way, you mentioned him just now, and I wanted to ask you, is he already better than you at his age than you were at that same age?
No doubt.
if your son is better than you, man, as you were at that age, then we can take that.
Yes.
You know, leader, I'm going to have to call about. I'm going to have to add it to the call. But let me say this. So, and here's what bring it up. He was in a different environment, and so now that he's back here now. He's back in Jamaica and he's doing some schooling, and it's like he wants to go back into the previous environment, in the environment that he had in the summer. And I think sometimes what we need to do, like you have talented kids like this, if you can get them, I hear a mention like Claudia, if you can get them in the environment or close to the environment that they would be in, if they become professional footballers, then it will take away some of the desire for what is provided in the what I call the glorified PE.
Yeah.
In other words, if these kids, if he had the opportunity, for example, of being, like I said, you go to Florida and he's in an academy playing with kids who are in academy regularly in stuff like that, maybe that will say to them, no, it will be better for me to play here because it brings me closer to where I want to go because it's ahead. I'm gonna give you a good example. I think this guy named Romain Blake, he was over there somewhere in Florida and he came and played for JC a couple of seasons ago. And you almost saw a difference because of the environment that he was in. And people were saying that he was a cut above the rest of schoolboys at that time. But I personally think while that was good, if he had stayed in that environment, then it would have expedited the process of his growth. And I think sometimes that's what we have to do with the kids. You cannot deny them the schoolboy football if you don't have them in an environment that makes them feel closer to the end that they want to get to.
Yeah, and sometimes even being at the institution that he's at now, sometimes he's not seeing it like I am seeing it, And so a lot of what Andre just said is almost like echoing my conversations with him, that, this is what you say you want. You just have to take a different route towards it than what everybody else is doing, and don't feel pressured into, that you're missing out on anything. You're not really missing out. You're taking the time out to work on yourself, to develop yourself, and to, take it to the level that would be required for you when you're moving on to the next level,
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, we're looking at a movement into Florida, and that could be very soon. So
I will connect you, man, depending on where.
Arrangements
Yeah, man. I have some. If you're in the Florida area, I mean, just let me know, and we have a couple of persons, because we're doing this the camps over there with the reggae boys in different places. So we have different coaches over there that we work with, from the Freddie Butler, you have Kerry James, Boris Johnson, all of these guys in different spaces. Trevor Spence, all of these. So just let us know, and maybe we can help with something like that. But I see Maxwell is back. He went and found the rule book, I suppose.
Okay. Mr. Henry, before you go, I don't want you to go yet. I did better than that. I looked at the rule book and I consulted with the guru, right? And I was asking him to come on. The guru read the whole Issa. He says, boy, was me would come on, but man, it look like wrong. What I'll say to Mr. Henry, there's a scenario that you told me of earlier. Call Brandon, please, and get it clarified. It's exactly as
all right. Go ahead, leader.
So let me just.
Hold on, leader. Soldier, you can't. So hold on, leader. Soldier, yeah, you're trying to call. Trying to wait until. So you have to mute the phone and let him finish because we are getting some sound in the background. All right, go ahead, leader.
Okay, listen now. For all intents and purposes, the actual scenario that you people are trying to paint is not there. But what is there is once a youngster represents, listen now, once whether it's at first farm, say with first farm, second farm, or whatever farm, once they have played for an Issa school, right? And if they move to a private institution, it does not matter how long they're at the private institution. What Issa looks at is that they were a part of an Issa school. Okay? So all rules, the same rules, unless the player is going to sixth form, listen now, unless the player is going to sixth form, that player will have to comply with the rules as if he was coming directly from an Issa school. You understand? And I can tell you, I have spoken to somebody a while ago who knows the thing inside out. And I'm just going to advise you, call him, you have his number, and he'll clarify everything I just said.
I will do better.
Or you can,
next week,
Issa.
Next week, Monday, I will speak to Mr. Lindvern, right?
Yes.
All right? Nobody better than somebody at Issa to explain the rule, leader. Because you're still paraphrasing.
No problem.
But we have Soldier.
Anyway.
Soldier is in Rome. Before you go, because Soldier, you have a couple of minutes. I don't know if you want to ask Mr. Henry anything. I know you're in Rome at the Ryder Cup, so please just go quickly, and then I can release Mr. Henry to go back to his busy Friday. You understand? Because Friday is payday. Soldier, go ahead. What you saying?
Thank you.
Yes, leader. Yes, man is man. Yes, straight all the Jacob on your show and win not the house. What I'm saying to you, leader, this rule where man is man talking about, this rule is where Issa are from long time, you know. I remember an incident. They were a player now leave firm court, play a match already, and come and play and pay for the other school. But know what Issa doing, I think is the right thing, because that year, you know what Issa done? They banned the school for a year. They banned the school for a year. So those boys, and their final year, after they win the group and everything, Bed was in that team too, in Manins, man.
Okay.
Bed was in that team. And they banned that team. That team was so good that every school they come up on, they were dropping just 5. Nothing under 5, that team that they have that year. And because the player play one match for firm court the year before and come to the school in January, they banned the school for 1 year. 1 year they banned the school for. Yeah. So this rule is going on. I remember an incident, Charlie Mount used an ineligible player leave from St. Catherine to Charlie Mount, and they never banned the school that time. What they done, they banned the player. They ban the player and take away points from the school. So these things going on. If you're coming from sixth farm, going to a sixth farm school, yes, you can play. And Issa done something wrong as with man is man. With that incident last year with this issue, Yarcastle should get banned.
What?
And I'm going to
Why should Yarcastle be banned though?
Because they know, listen why they should get banned. They know you cannot have player going to an institution and not going to your school and going to a next school and coming to play for football reason. And Issa know that they should ban Yarcastle. Yarcastle should get banned for that.
No. So remember, all right, people. All right, so let us begin how this all started, because we have to go based on.
May I address that?
Go ahead, because
since I'll be going a little bit.
Yeah, you go and then you go, Mr. Henry. Thank you. Yeah.
There are various conditions and various arrangements with the schools involved, right? When a school is partnership with another school, there you can't just blanket it and say they don't attend the school, because they have a partnership, which may mean classes may be at that school, classes may be at the other school, right? Whatever the partnership is, I am sure they can also produce grades to say that, okay, this person is an average of that or of whatever, right? So you can't just blanketly say that you're going to ban the school. What they should do is look into the partnership and try somehow to maybe, if it is necessary, try to regulate there as well, right? But you can't ban if somebody is still within your rule and finds some kind of a loophole. Then let's, for want of a better word, find some kind of a way to have players play under their umbrella and satisfy all of the conditions you require. You know, you shouldn't seek to ban, but you should seek to further regulate. Further put things in place to ensure, that this don't happen. We don't want that to happen,
Yeah, but it is
attendance.
All right,
Attendance.
Hold on, Soldier. Mr. Henry, listen, let me release you. Thank you so much for joining. And we'll be in touch.
You're welcome, sir.
And I mean, you
All
know,
right,
like
good.
so we
Thank you.
can make some connection for you out there in Florida. And like I said, Andre
All
is in
right.
North NC. You know, so
All
yeah,
right.
man.
Thank you then.
You're welcome. All right.
Sure.
Yeah, man. All right. Yes, Soldier, you were saying something.
Yeah, what I'm saying, why I say Yaka should get banned. That player, because one rule cannot go for one and don't go for the other. I remember that player play a match for a school coming from a Issa school. Them say they never know the rule. Give them the benefit of the doubt. They never know that. The guy come in January to the school, start school January, get a transfer, come in January, and come and be a part of the team. And then you ban that school, those guys for 1 year. The school, they couldn't play no schoolboy football, that whole set of guys. All right. You ban them. Okay. So why, when this happened, it's not Taki in the same situation, you know, but Taki was in the same player was there, you know. But you see, what they should done, this gentleman said, no, what should find a way. But if Idel have players at that time and send them to play at St. Diego, you don't think St. Diego should get banned when Idel never allowed to play in the Issa competition? If they player going to Idel and leave from Idel, how much their grade could be A+, A-, just A's, and they leaving from Idel to St. Diego or playing for St. Catherine. Why you guys don't say about that?
Soldier, let me just make your point like a better here. There was an actual case this year of a youngster who he was registered, so to speak, at 2 schools at the same time. And what changed everything and got one school into trouble was when they asked for the register. So listen now, your case would be okay last year, you know. But you see, this year, if they try to play back any of those players who went there last year, because they're coming technically from a private high school, so they are all clear. And, you know, and those that have the subject of 6 on, they're okay, because that's their first. For some of them, listen now, for some of them, they will be clear. But for some of them now, who are coming from another Issa school, it's even more, because there are youngsters that were coming from another Issa school that did not even sit out. And that is not, that's against the rules. So the next problem is now, is the attendance. You have to be there 80% of the time, not at somewhere else.
So leader.
What I would like them to do is
leader.
Man, 1 second. Man. What I would like them to do is give. Just like how they give Idel the green light, I would like Andy Montez and the green light same way. Say, all right, they can enter. That means that these type of things can go on.
So we don't want to conflate the issues. Idel is not a private institution. They're a public.
It
school.
Is.
It was. It is.
It is still a private institution, sir.
Idel is not private, man. Come on, what is wrong with you, man?
It's a private institution, sir. It's just that the school, it's a private institution.
Listen,
just like Hillel Academy, it's a private institution.
So let me ask you. Hold on. Easy. Let's go slow. When kids are selecting schools that they can go to, do they select?
Idel is on there, sir.
All right. Have you ever seen Hillel on there?
Yes, sir.
You see kids select to go Hillel in a pep?
No, hold on. No. Issa, hold on there. Hold on. Listen, let me just go into it. Not Issa, sorry. The Ministry of Education will place kids at Idel. Idel is still a private institution, so it has not been taken over by government. It's a private institution that has applied to Issa. Hold on. Private institutions, private schools can apply.
Leader.
Yes.
Leader. Idel is privately owned. It is public. Do not come tell me no nonsense. No spew no nonsense.
It's privately owned. No, what you said a while ago. It's privately owned.
It is privately owned.
Yes.
But it's a public school. What kind of madness?
It was a private school at first, you know, management. It was a private school It was a private school because my cousin was the principal there, you know.
Soldier, I want listen. I want keep the discussion.
Okay, we're agreeing on that.
No madness. Nobody come tell me about Idle is a private institution. It is privately owned. It is a public institution. That is why when people are select school where them go to, the government can place people. The government can't place nobody up a Hillel.
Oh, hold on, sir.
The government cannot place nobody. Hold on.
Not Hillel.
Let me stop. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. There's the next one named what do you call it? Asif or something like that. The government can't place nobody up there. Those are private schools. Government can't place nobody in none of them schools. Campion is a private school. Government can't place people at Campion. When I tell me them thing about, man.
Campion is a private government school, man.
The government fund Heidel. You know, remember a big thing they did in politics with it, with what's her name? I see, getting the government, this one, AISK, or ASIC or something like that. You think the government can place nobody up there when they do PEP? Or place nobody in a Hillel leader? Leader, you have to know better than that, you know, man. Come on, a leader, man. They are privately owned leader. But they are not, they are public. That is why they can enter in all Issa competition. They are partly funded by the government. I mean, no, you know, a leader. But your love give trouble. You start out good and end up bad. Anyway, soldier, leader, the amount of people you try calling and because
yeah, man, I'm here. I was actually trying to get the owner for Heidel a while ago in the search.
All right, call and ask him.
Answer.
Call and ask him. Come on.
Thomas Bennett.
Hey, all right, let me take a.
No, man, I don't have to come off, man. No, man, I can call it straight and tell him. It's okay.
So
can.
All right.
So the rule,
all right. So
man, you see the thing where the guy Gould when I said to you, he will kind of set away because I can tell a certain school will get away with something and some school. I can tell you, if it was some other school, what happened with JC and the school, and maybe they don't want to ban the school. For them reason. So that is, if you have one rule, the rule is supposed to go for everybody. If you give a person, because Idel incident and the JC incident are two different incidents, and it's the same punishment them get. So all them type of thing, if it's all put on them foot, which I agree with them to do. Put your foot down. The rule is here. Even look at it this way. This girl Campbell where used to go firm court, man is man. That's got Idel. She have to sit out her ear. She couldn't run her champs this year. She have to sit out her ear. She have to sit out her ear, say something well done. So me have a problem with that. But when the drink one when I say, if you're gonna take a player to your school now at Mannings, you are the man, you are coach for Mannings. And they were coming from Mount Pleasant, but we got Yakas and they want to come to Mannings. Where you gonna if you want to come to your school to play next season, why you said you're sending back to go to Mount Pleasant and next season you come? No, you're making come a man and get used to your work. That's them syllabus them that's what you're teaching there. That's when you come him have it much easier. Him sit out him doing bookwork and whatsoever. Because maybe a two different syllabus that they're teaching.
No, man, it's the same syllabus because it's the same curriculum them going through. What so let me just take a couple of calls because with you and Maxwell, and then if anything you can call back because I have Jermaine who wanted to add to the discussion, and because the group chat I can't add them, so you can call back. All right. So people, let me just take a couple of Jermaine was trying to call. Let me get him and then I see Gunners boss. People, listen, I don't understand what I'm going. London also get fired. Breaking news that. Okay, many fear. Hey, all right, hold on, Jermaine. Let me say this, people. You know, so me know. That's why Gunners boss have a customer sometime. You know, watch here. 90 likes. I made up on the thing for 2 hours almost a half. Not 100 likes. Big up El Granero. One super shot all day. Motor all dry. People, me drink some water. You know, super chat, super sticker. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah. So all this conversation started, right? Is there? I'm gonna ask you some question because I don't know. Is there a rule book out there that everybody can see? Because I hear you guys going back and forth.
All the schools get the Issa rule book. I read the rule already. I read the rule.
No, I'm saying, is there a general rule out there for the public to look at?
Yeah, there is a Issa rule book. I don't know if it. I think the public can get it, right? So there's a rule book for Issa. So every school that participates in Issa competition has the rule book. Every school.
Okay, I think every parent should also get that book too.
I think
since it's causing.
I think if parents want it, they can get it.
Yes, so everybody should have that book. So there should not be any, there shouldn't be any going around the rules, blah blah blah. Right? The rules are there. You accept it. You go by it. Same thing goes for the schools who are trying to break the rules also, right? So if it's written in black and white and you accept it, right? There shouldn't be nothing else, no controversy, no nothing. Also, I remember when I went to Trenchtown in 1990 when I first started. I was 15. Remember I told my age yesterday and you laugh? So yeah, so we can back that up. All right. So I remember this guy came to there's 4 guys that actually came to that school. That came to school that year. Then they had was to sit out. They came from some top school, but I guess they weren't getting played. I don't know why, but they had was to sit out, right? The following year, it was Steve Green. You remember one time Steve Green, I'm gonna play for Tivoli, right?
Yeah.
It was around that time, right? But my thing to this though, right? What if the parents buy a house, right? And I move to Montego Bay. And the parents show that, look, I buy this house. Will that affect the child still?
Issa have within the Issa rules. When I had on Linvern right last year, he spoke about it. Within the rules, there are certain exemptions. They don't come out and speak about it because they don't want people to manipulate and exploit those things. But they did state that, listen, your father is a police officer. He moves to Westmoreland to be the head officer. Right. Medical doctor, those things, crime, violence in an area. You move, you're on witness protection, whatever it is. Issa allows those things when they can be proven. So within the rules, there is still allowance for stuff like that.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, and if a parent dies and you have to go live with the next one, so like that, right? So that is there, right? What is the penalty for the school that actually break the rule? They just lose points?
Break what?
That's it?
No, break what rule?
Okay, like the schools that use eligible players that know they can play and the schools still play them.
All right, but they're different.
Does the school go ahead?
Players become ineligible through different means. And so different in the rule book, it tells you what the punishment will be. For example, if a school falsifies grade, that's a different thing than if they use. Remember, you can use 4 players and you only have 3 for transfer. That's a different punishment than the schools that use players who have transferred from 3 Issa member school. So ineligibility has different things in it that comes with different kinds of punishment.
Okay, so all the punishment is written in the rule book.
Yeah.
Okay. So all I'm saying, though, all this debate about this and that and that and that, right? If it's written in the rule book and it's there, conversation should be over. It shouldn't be a debate. This debate are there are some loopholes? Is there any loopholes in the thing?
But the question is, are the rules destroying careers? So that is what we talk. We're not saying that the rules are not to be there. We're asking, are the rules helping or destroying? Are the rules stopping Jamaica College from winning Manning Cup? Is it stopping cases?
Okay.
Or is it affecting the big schools, or it's still hurting the schools that you are trying to protect? Are the rules really punishing the kids when you say they must sit out, or should it be school? That is what we're asking.
Hold up, man.
Yeah.
You just said something. Which got me. So you're saying that the rules was put in place to protect certain schools, the smaller schools. Am I correct?
Huh? I didn't hear that.
That the rules were put in place. No, you're saying that the rules.
And you know this. If you were at like Trenchtown, your top footballers would probably end up at like a KC or a Woolmers or one of those other schools. And so what Issa was saying, that it is not fair that Trenchtown High School have this youth from he was in first form, second form, third form. Now they're about to build their program to try and win the Manning Cup. And one of these big schools come and take 10 players from their team. There was, for example, the Dintil team that won. The Dintil team, there was a Dintil team. There was a Marcus Garvey a Marcus Garvey secondary school, it was, that had Dintil took, I think, 13 of 12 of their players and went on to win the Costa Cup, and 2 went to Veer, right? So what they're saying though, what they're saying is that fair? That here it is that they did so well, and all of their players were taken. 14 players were taken, 12 to one school and 2. Is that so? So Issa was putting in rules to stop some of that, but the schools are.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But someone tell me that a certain big school, well, you know, I'm gonna say, and then the coach openly said a few years ago, JC, they were going around, you know, recruiting players from all around the island. Did they do that? They have to do that, you know, illegally. How did they do that though?
Oh, no, what is it? What is illegal about that? Nothing is illegal about that.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you. They recruit players from different schools.
No, nothing from different schools. Nothing is wrong with recruiting players. I don't have a problem with recruiting.
But I thought that's what you said. You know, I see what you're saying though, right? But I remember everybody kind of look at the players that they have.
Listen, here's what I am saying.
This guy coming from this guy coming from Green Pond, this one coming from so and so. He goes around.
I am saying that. I believe coaches must build their own programs with the players from their school. Like Manning School right now have a team in the DaCosta Cup that every single player on the team is a Manning student that came into Manning. They didn't go and recruit. All of them are from first from all the way up. Every single one. It is, but they have done recruiting in the past, right? Like they had recruited Rodney and a couple others, right? I don't have a problem. Yes. I don't have a problem with schools recruiting. What I have a problem with is when kids are brought into a situation where they are not allowed to play for a year or 2 in competitions. I think that is an issue, and whatever the rules are, I don't believe like the greater percentage of the punishment should be on the children. It is time for us to start holding the administrators accountable, because it is principals who are making these rules, and it is principals who are allowing these kids in the schools. So how can the rule maker be the rule breaker? That is my issue.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying with that. If you cannot prove the reason why, you know what I mean, that you have, if you don't, you know, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying, and that make a lot of sense. It make a lot of sense.
And listen, and people talk about JC, like Calabar do it, you know, it's Calabar track and field, KC track and field.
I was going to ask you too.
Edwin Allen.
I was going to ask you, does it go for all sports? Does it go for all sports?
Yeah, I mean, track and field, a lot of the kids that end up, I mean,
a big thing, yeah.
Yeah, Omar Singh there, Hurdler, wasn't a KC, he was from Manchester. Hansa Parchment, isn't he from Morant Bay High, and he went to KC? You understand me? So kids move from all over the place. A guy named Bremridge, you know, so people just move. I mean, all schools do it.
No, I can see track and field, right? You know, if you're at a school and you don't have the competition, right? You have to go somewhere where competition is higher.
No. If you're going to say that for track and field, you have to say it for football, brother.
Yeah. I'm not even debating that. But hear me now with my last point, right? I know the schoolboy thing, right? The football and the track and field. Them have some past students
behind them, and them have these corporate sponsors, right, behind them. So there's people spending money behind them, right? The sponsorship and so forth, right? I kind of think, from me talking to someone who's big in the business, they're telling me that this thing is a money thing, even the boys champ thing. Because I remember there was a time when this top athlete did something, hit a teacher, and they did not suspend him or anything. They did not suspend him or anything because of sponsorship. I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. Is it true?
Carla, I don't know that how you just said it.
It was Christopher Taylor that slapped it. It was all about. It was in the paper and all that.
Carla, what I am saying to you is this.
Yeah.
That Chris Taylor being allowed to run had nothing to do with sponsorship being withdrawn. There is nothing that was said about.
It was to have him run because of blah blah blah, right? They was let him run. Because if that was another student that actually did that, right? He would have been suspended. So why do you think they let him run?
Suspended, but who said he wasn't suspended?
He wasn't suspended. He wasn't suspended.
Carla. Suspended from school or from champs?
He wasn't suspended from champs.
Yeah, but if you're a teacher of an altercation, you can be suspended from school. If two kids fight at school, should they be suspended from champs? If two kids...
Hold up, man, man, hold up for a second. I respect it. I listen to you.
Yeah.
You telling me a student put his hand and box a teacher and he mustn't get suspended from school or from the company? Come on.
Hey, listen, don't do that to me. Did I say to you that he should not be suspended from school? Did I say that?
No, I'm asking you if that's what you're saying. I'm asking you.
But you started out by saying, I respect you, and then you say, are you saying that? Let me say what
that's why I said I respect. I'm asking you. I never said you said. I'm asking you.
Well, let me say what I'm saying. If a teacher and a student have an altercation, you can expel the student, you can suspend the student. If the person has been suspended, why can't they participate at the school having served their suspension?
Trying to make a better society and so example to the kids.
So,
what he said that time, we run things, we run the school, and he reach in through the door and slap the teacher in the face. That is unacceptable, brother. That is unacceptable. Is that what my son?
Listen what I'm saying to you. Just listen, because right can't beat right. Just listen. So a child and a teacher has an altercation, right? That child, you're saying, because of the altercation with the teacher, should not be allowed to participate in anything in a school for the rest of their duration of school.
I never said that.
So what are you saying?
There should be, what I'm saying to you, that there was no discipline dole out to him. None whatsoever. And it was well documented by everybody.
That's not true, Carla. That is not true.
Done to him? I'm listening. I'm listening. You tell me.
So I told you already. The athlete, he was suspended from school.
He was suspended from school. Okay. Do you know that? Hold on for a second, brother. Do you know? I remember FIFA had this thing one time. It was something when Arsenal and Man United did have a big fight, and a bunch of Man United players get suspended. I'm not Arsenal players, but guess what? They were also injured, so it never counts. Even international games, right? What they do now for FIFA, they make sure that you get the discipline for an international game. So if you play friendlies don't count. What they do, they make sure that it's a FIFA thing that you get suspended. So the school suspend him, give him a drug suspension, which was well documented, and everybody was saying this was unacceptable. But let me go back to what you said. A student and a teacher have an altercation. That was not the way it went. It's something when they sent for some bets, and they were down there and he said there was no more bets. And they went down here to go butt up the teacher, very disrespectful, and push him hand through the door and say how we run things and slap the teacher in the face and him get a baby suspension. That's what I was saying.
So what is your point?
We were going back
because what I'm saying to you is that obviously you're not aware of the case. And I don't want to tell you, but other people in the comments are saying, Jermaine, what I think you are speaking on what you heard and not what you have no record of what you're saying, because what you're saying is not actually true, my friend. And other people, what I'm saying to you is that other people are here who are saying it is not so. And let me ask you again. So let me ask you again. Let me ask you again. If two kids fight at a school, all right, hold on, Andre. I know you have to run, all right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Okay, because we talk later.
Yeah, man, bless up. So, two kids fight. A boy gets a girl pregnant at school, right? Does that mean that that child should never be given an opportunity again?
Man, you changing the conversation. That's not what I said. I never said that. Okay? And and as far as you saying I don't know anything about the incident, I have
not
two
say
cousins that were going to that school at the same
all right,
time.
You know what I'm going to do?
I'm auntie pull them out.
Jeremy and Miller, I'm going to call out in here. I'm going to let somebody who was standing up right here, because I'm saying to you, no matter what I try to tell you, I'm trying to be nice, because every single person in the comment is saying you're telling lies. Because what you're saying.
No, hold on for a second, big man. I never said that there should be. You're saying that I'm saying that this person must be banned for life.
No,
I never said that.
I did not say that. You keep on saying things that I'm not saying. I didn't say that.
You saying that I said that this person must never play again. That's what you just said.
Lord have mercy. Listen, no, sir. Listen, here, let me say it again. So a child fights or gets a girl pregnant. Are you saying they should not participate in anything at a school? When you're talking about ban for life, I never said anything like that, sir. All I've said to you is that the information that you're making about Chris Taylor at Calabar, it is not accurate. It's not.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it as that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave it as that.
And I guarantee you that you're speaking on what you have heard from others. You're not abreast of the full facts.
I'm gonna leave it as that.
Okay. Bless up. So, all right. You want anyway. There are some Calabar people here now who are part of it, but we're going off topic still. But bless up.
No, I'm gonna leave it alone. But yeah. Let me just finish up this stuff. I think if the rules is in black and white, right? For this thing, right? And it started to confuse a bunch of people. So why is this debate going on? But I get your point. You're saying that to match up the kids' career, and I get your point. That too, them need to fix that too, right? Because if you're gonna know this kid want to play ball and you're gonna admit him, right? I heard you guys said somewhere earlier that the parents kind of get manipulated, right? It should be an awareness for the teacher and the student, right? Knowing that if you transfer, you cannot play, right? And if they sign off on that, then everybody agree, right? So I get your point about that with the teachers and the principal, them knowing this and still go transfer the student.
The Calabar people are saying that you need to retract the lies that you just told about the gentleman. I hear somebody.
Listen, we are talking about football now. We're talking about football.
A man said that. Listen, if they get a name, they will let the man take out a lawsuit against you. I'm telling you,
Yeah, man, everything, man. I won 2 banks. Yeah, I won 3 banks. I won 2 at Jamaica. I won 3 business. I might cause it one tasty party.
All right, man.
Yeah, man. All right, big man. Cool. But look, I have the video and I have people that go there too, so people can talk all the crap they want to talk. Okay.
All right.
My auntie pull out my 2 cousins out at school. All
right. People. The views expressed by Jermaine are not those of I Am Sure Sports. Leader, where you want to take on the man, leader? Yeah, all right. Hey, man is man. 2 Wolmer's boy fight and they was on the Chuck team and they did suspend, but Calabar take them. And the Chuck, what is the Chuck team? What? Soldier, look like any of our room. Soldier, look like any beside the Pope, man. Hey, Soldier, look like the Pope give you some communion over there in the Vatican City, 2 Wolmer's boy fight. Hey, oh, people, leave me a soldier and me a soldier. Anytime you see me a soldier attack, you don't get involved. People, soldier in a born of Jamaica, you know. Oh, you better know that. Soldier in a born of Jamaica. But he more Jamaica that way. Big up yourself here, soldier. Leader, what you have to say?
Look here, Manins, just one quick thing. I don't want to go off track. I take it off track. But that gentleman, when I say him lie on Monday, him lie on. Look here, let me just tell you something. The owner for Tasty, them named Vincent Chang. Me when I say I know them personally,
No, man,
me know them like trust me. The man lied
no,
to
man,
me.
the man was just
No.
tongue in cheek.
No, I think no. I think he must be serious.
No,
with
man,
another lie.
no, man. Him not,
but
him,
nothing like that happened,
no,
and you should have stopped
leader,
it.
Leader. When
And
it
him
come
keep repeating it.
Leader, with the thing with the whole bank and Tasty leader. That was just tongue in cheek, man. Him never serious.
Oh, I don't think so. Anyway, it don't matter. All I can say is you should stop him because nothing like that happened. Right?
But
Not
I did
like
tell
what
him that
nobody.
I did tell him that there was no boxing and no teacher.
But boy. Anyway, Mannings, I got a call from New York just when I was off, from another parent that confirmed, and she was upset in tears when she realized what happened, where she sent her son to an institution, and she did not know that what the youngster told her that the school say that we're going to help out York Castle to do well in the Casa Cup. She did not sign anything. She knew nothing of this, and I think
but she
all
knew,
of those York Castle
leader. She did know. You just said it.
No, hold on. The son called her and said that they're going to make us play. She never know that they're going to be transferred or anything like that.
All right. So when her son called and told her that, what did she do?
She was not aware that anybody was going to be transferred because she said she never sent her son there.
Mercy. Here what I'm asking you. When her son called and told her that, what did she do after that call from her son?
Okay, let me just make this clear now. This is a youngster that plays for me. The mother, everything Mount Pleasant gives her, he sends a copy and she said, Mr. Maxwell, they send nothing because every single thing they give me, I send it to you before I do anything. I'm going to tell you. So Moshi got no paperwork to transfer the youngster or register him there.
The question again. Her son called and said to her, Mommy, the people here says they want me to go up to York Castle to help them out in the Costa Cup. What did she do at that point? That's what I'm asking you.
She did nothing because no paperwork came. She did not understand that it was going to be any formal registration. She did nothing.
So you said that she did not understand.
And she did not even inform me at that point because nobody took it as anything.
All right. So
she didn't understand.
So you did not understand. Your son tells you something. You're not clear. You don't understand. What do? If my son comes to me, leader, and says to me, Daddy, do you know that they are taking us to St. Thomas to play some football? And I don't understand that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick up my phone and I'm going to call the school and try to get understanding.
All I can say, Mannings, all of those boys that play for York Castle, I think them have a valid reason to have that thing made null and void, and I think they need to look at it. So
leader, here's
probably
the thing.
ostracized.
Seeing that the parent always speak to you about everything, why did you advise the parent to bring the child to Mount Pleasant in the first place, and then move the child from Mount Pleasant now? Oh, you're gonna call upon Lord Jesus now. You're gonna call upon Lord Jesus now.
No, Mannings, we went through this on another show. Mannings, there was violence in the area. The youngster had to move for safety. He had to move.
So why move to Mount Pleasant?
Safety.
Why move to Mount Pleasant?
Because out of the area where he lived.
No, man. I understand.
He had a relative.
No.
He had a relative that was involved, and he had to leave for safety. You know, as Jamaica,
so hold on.
Had to leave the area.
Man, just follow me, no leader. So follow me. Do you know that you can move from one place in Kingston and go into a next place and safer? He had to physically also find somewhere to live.
It was not
So,
simple
do
as
you
that.
know that
And
there, you know that there
it
are schools
was
in
an
Kingston?
opportunity
Do you
that
know
was used. Yes.
Do you know that there are schools in Kingston that if they understand the situation and you're a talent footballer, they will give you accommodation?
Man, and you and I would have to speak about that after here, because everything that because is not good. Because that is one of the reasons. That same reason there, what you're talking about, is one of the reasons why Sister Ainsworth from an inner city community that was at a boarding thing there. After a while, things fell apart and it just went to tush. So I'm just saying, everything that people promise you at these schools does not always pan out. Things happen.
Oh, see, okay.
So don't use that face value.
Okay, all right. I'm just asking questions. All right, I'm just asking. All right, leader, you were on before, but people, the Christopher Taylor thing. That's what Germany. That's not how it goes. A lot of times, that people that they hear
did not.
You know, he's trying his telephone because even Jason is here saying that he knows a teacher. That's not the thing, and to say that the school didn't do anything, it's not so. All right, leader. So every time leader call you on, put you on leader, you have to talk to soldier because every time you call soldier, you are called to. All right, boss. So let me take the next one. All right. Let's see. We're gonna take. Maxilla call again, man. Let me hear a Gunners boss. After say, and then we hear from soldier and we close the show. People, please, no man, hit the like button, you know. Super Friday, you know. Super Friday, you know, people. Come on, no, man.
Hello.
Yes, Gunners boss, because we are wrap up, you know, because I don't see no super sticker, super chat, so I just let me show you, man. Where you going?
My one, yeah, look like but the way my one enough, you know, I mean, no WhatsApp and nobody take out no like I give me one bank account to put, you know. Anyway, man's man, me get cut off earlier. In about 2 minutes in my call. And I'll tell you, if you do this, to eat your food is a lucky thing. So you start out your life before you start with this, you know. Because you see them people here, they make hungry, kill you. The brother like a while. Him dey on the phone for 2 hours during the show, I call everybody. And him is a man who can come on the show and come talk. So G is another one. When you on the phone too long, 4 minutes and 5 minutes to get on the phone. So if you know want more time, I'm not going to screen because I'm not a criminal like me. When you not hide, when you're on production, I'm not going to hide. Don't allow it, man, because you see a disadvantage of brother take like while. He might go call everybody a hide and mind and
him take disadvantage.
Him abuse you.
Him take
disadvantage. Him abuse you.
No, him take disadvantage. No.
Disadvantage of the show.
He took advantage. Disadvantage. How him take disadvantage?
Then if he get fired, I don't know if I use English. Remember, I didn't go to school. I run around me, I get here, I never ask. Because I try to use
Jesus. All right, go on, make a point here.
And on the phone for over 2 hours. I call everybody in Jamaica to make we know say know people. We don't care who you know, brother. Come on, my phone after 5 minutes and go, man.
No, man.
You know, we don't see him name a shine, you know, super chat. That's what me and my friend them talk.
No. Leader is in Jamaica, and if leader could do super chats, leader would do super chat. Leader have 10 kids. Leader.
Oh, I'm glad you're calling him.
Leader have 10 kids, you know, brother. So easier thing. Leader have big money, you know, 10 kids. Leader have, you know, man. 10, you know.
Me get 5 and 9 grand. 9 grand already.
And a rapid soldier, a 17 soldier have.
So soldier tell you, we don't know if I choose soldier.
Yeah, but what say you? Because don't tell me you just call the cuss off my callers, you know.
No, I know that alone I call. But when I call to say again, because I've been listening to Mr. Campbell, big up yourself or whatever, or Mr. Johnson and some other people. And you see what the people them talk, and I come back to it again. The way how they treat high school football in Jamaica, it is criminal. You know what happened, man? In the United States, if you go to a public funded high school, it have to be in your zip code, meaning your address where you live, in your community. You know, left and gone, you know, live at Kingston and left and gone, we are Westmoreland and people are recruited. They recruit children, students, athletes for colleges and universities, not for high school. It is criminal. This is look like it's a business. And it's not this around a professional thing. All the rules they want me to read out. A professional players, you do that, but you don't do that to kids, high school kids. 12 to 16 to 18 years old. No, it's too much thing. That's why I'm saying I need to abolish Issa Fidena college. And we don't have enough college there in Jamaica. We don't need that. Every parish supposed to have what you call their school, their high school association. Like in a New York, in a Pennsylvania, you have mostly TIAA. In a New York, you have CHSAA. In a Jersey, you have different. It's not one body control the whole United States high school football. Is every state and city control them own thing. So when we are telling you, it's criminal what Issa is doing to these young kids. All these rules and regulations for 16-year-old. What is that?
Yeah,
that is foolishness.
But Gunners Boss.
Let me say this. So, and then you can, and then before you cut me off, or before you talk. If you live a Papine, you go to the high school, them around a Papine High School, Jamaica College, and those high school in your zone. All right? No. Nobody not supposed to come recruit you to tell you to put you through hardship to reach all the way at Olaba and Clarendon at school. That is what them do at college. We have rooming, boarding, and you have what you call it, scholarship, and everything is funded for them. So it's easier. Go ahead now. Let me hear what you have.
Number one, in the States, right? The different cities have their own taxes. And what people say in the States, why the schools, you go to the zone because your taxes go to a particular city. So if you're there, you should benefit from your taxes. You should not move your kid and put them in a school where you're not paying taxes in the high school, because a lot of those schools are based on the taxes from the people. That's in the state. That's part of the reason why you have that. In Jamaica, it is taxation is general right across the board. So the people in East St. Andrew don't pay tax that goes directly to East St. Andrew. It is collected for all of Jamaica and stuff. Therefore, because my tax dollar can spread all the way to Kingston, my kids should go to school anywhere in Jamaica that I want them to go, because my tax dollars are not limited to the space that I am in. In the United States, really, that's how it operates. That's number one. All right. Secondly, a lot of the schools in Jamaica were not official high schools. They were technical or secondary schools. It is just recently a lot of them have been coming over. So some back in the, even in the early 90s, you had to, dependent on when you do an exam, to go to a school, a high school, like people in Westmoreland. There was only one high school in Westmoreland, Mannings. All the others were secondary schools. So if you couldn't get into Mannings, you probably have to go on board at Monroe or go to Mount Alvernia. So the context of Jamaica is a little bit different than what you have in the States. While I understand what you're saying about the United States, I do agree that some of the recruitment at that level is too much. All right. But I just have some breaking news from the Jamaica Football Federation. Let me just say that Lauren Donaldson and the Jamaican Football Federation had a very long discussion, and both parties came to an agreement that the contract would not be renewed. The JFF wishes to place on record our thanks to Lauren for his services to Jamaica football over the years, and especially making us proud at the recent Women's World Cup held in Australia and New Zealand. And we are confident that he will have unlimited success in his future endeavors, and we wish him the very best. The GFF is cognizant that the Reggae Girls will be involved in CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup qualifying in less than a month. We will immediately put the machinery in place to have competent staff in place for this important competition. All right, sorry about that Gunners Boss, but I had to read that. Yes.
No, man, that is important. Yeah, well, you see, as me say, me no know how they must go do it. They must go find a different way to do it, because I think over the years, a man said earlier, let me address you. Issa, J is better than JFF. Can't. Because Issa is not turning out enough product over the years for JFF to choose from. We have to go all over the world to find others. That's what you have to know. So how Issa is where them start from before them get to pro, and they're not going away out of Issa. So don't come tell me about Issa better than JFF. JFF is bad because you not spend too much time on JFF and not spend some time on the domestic and the collegiate and the high school football to develop players so JFF can choose from. You know what? JFF to build house, you know. But I say, you know, to build house so JSF can choose which one they want to live in. That's our governing body, not our building body. So you people keep talking foolishness like you don't know who you're talking to. This is me. And me no want to see the youth them I get destroyed. And me think say Issa to go to get abolished and find different ways. Me no care how them are going to do it with a tax bracket or whatever. Figure that out. And the government problem with tax and who get taxes. But it is criminal what Issa is doing to our boys and girls in sports by having them making professional rules from them, transferring them from one part to the next and all these things. It's criminal.
No, but that's what Issa is trying to stop.
Well, that's what them need to stop. And the only way you're going to stop that is get Issa out of it and get independent people who can control Manchester. Get independent people who can control Westmoreland.
But what I'm saying is, isn't that what Issa is stopping? So why you want to get rid of the entity that is stopping what you are saying that should be stopped?
Because they've been criminal all these years. They've been doing things to our kids that's not up to that is not warranted for high school kids. Them treating high school kids like professional collegiate players. Them treating them like they're paying them to play these sports and they are the ones who making the money. So you don't do these things to skits. So me done, management, let me go and go do my work here. Because me not even, when me see Mr. Johnson come and then I talk about all people are transferring son from one school to the next. In America, they got prison for them things that child trafficking them. You can't move people pick the road. Who can move around Major or Isaiah or Nyron? Anyone of my grand pick them, go wish back them, no want them to go. And them father and them mother make that decision. Okay.
All right, I'll give you your own show. Tell me when you want to do it. Which night?
I have to find my running mate, because you know me have to have somebody when me and them can talk. We have to guys talk. We talk.
I'm going to make you and Cataract do a show, man. Cataract versus Earth Vibration podcast.
Oh man, we have to find a name to it, man. But Cataract, look like say, you might get big money if you play down America, yeah. But then as me open the camera, when me see in there, soccer second. So what is first and soccer is second? What is this?
All right.
United Airlines IAD Soccer Tournament 2022.
All right, Gunners, boss. Bless up yourself.
Yeah, man. Look more with that.
Yeah, man. All right. Boss. Oh boy. Hey, people, listen. I'm gonna have to run, right? And here's why. In the meantime, for those of you, Jason, I know you're not a member yet, you know. You're on this iPhone business. Brethren, someone can get some Android, man, and be members of I Am Sure Sports. Remember, people, make sure you hit the like button, you subscribe, and you share, all right? A little later, we're going to come back with our EPL show. And in that show, we're going to give you the fantasy, I Am Sure Sports Fantasy League point standing and all of that. And probably dissect a little bit this Lauren Donaldson situation. He said, don't move nobody. Send leader to prison. Jesus. Rob Civic. Leave leader alone. Soldier, big up yourself, you know, people. Soldier is more Jamaican than we, you know. Soldier is born in Jamaica, you know. If me telling a soldier history, you know. Yeah, Drew. The people with iPhones so they can't be members. I don't know why. That's what I think I was hearing yesterday. iPhone and Apple products a problem with the membership. But here Drew say have that there. But people, I'm hearing that Casey could be in some problems with the same transfer business too, you know. Yeah, that Casey could be in some problems with a player. So let's see how that one will pan out. But yeah, it's a lot of school, and I hear that there are other schools that, like I said, coaches are having their holding the cards and waiting. Yeah, beating the press, Port St. Lucie, bless up yourself. People, I'm going to run. We're coming back for a run at our show. You understand? It's the Fantasy Premier League, the I Am Sure Sports and saying it is Super Friday. So again, thank you so much for all the likes, the share, the subscriptions. Thanks for all the support. We will discuss at that point as well. KC is cleared. Leader, KC leader is saying that KC is cleared. I hear that they were in some problem, but leader said they are cleared. I will check my own sources because leader are easy, Leader try advocate because he want a couple ballers that him associated with who are in problems, who can't play. Leader, I work hard for them play. Leader then can't play. Them have to go sit out a year, leader. Leader problem, man. Leader say Issa can't find the records on the KC case. I'm gonna leave leader alone. The leader, you have a problem, You have a problem with a leader. You have a problem. You have a problem with a leader. Watch yourself. But listen, people, I am Manning's man. This has been I Am Sure Sports. This is a new book I'm reading, people. Very good book, right? You can see it? Get a copy. I'm not really advertise, but it's a good book. You understand it? Read it. Share some thoughts from it next week. But I am Manning's man. This has been I Am Sure Sports. And until we meet again later this evening, we are over. And we are O-U-T out of here.
Yo, watch about dog, SK New Erdis. The body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocho-Race, Galtigo Bay. Everywhere. I Am Sure Sports. Check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Yeah. Someone on for the food from young, from where they knee height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.